Petroleum is available for all your bulk fuel and lubricant needs, with propane at selected locations Monday to Friday. And don't forget, their Cardlock location is accessible 24 hours for your convenience. B&A Petroleum. Fuel you once, fuel you forever.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Friday edition of the Sports Cage for sasktoday.ca, your news hub in the province. We are a couple days away from the Riders and Hamilton Tiger Cats. Curtis Gammon is with me today. 3 hours for you. We are going to have a special edition of press coverage with Glenn Suter. That is coming up in about 8 minutes' time. If you're watching the feed, thank you very much. World Cup today, updates. Spain, they have advanced. If you didn't want to hear that, sorry. But yeah, we'll talk some World Cup sprinkle of the day. Also, of course, Farhan Lalji is with us today. Hour 3, Luke Mullender from our broadcast team. And then Zach McPhee. Teased this yesterday. He is the hockey player turned country music star playing the main stage tomorrow at Country Thunder. But young Zach played 4 years for the University of Regina Cougars just a few years ago. And now he's playing country and Western music. Curtis?
Yeah. Are you expecting me to play country music?
You pulled the mic to your face and you have that little smirk on you. I'm like, oh, Curtis has something.
Former producer of the Sports Cage, or operator, and now he's country music star.
Curtis Gammon.
Could you imagine?
With his new hit.
I'd look good in a cowboy hat. I could see it.
Yeah.
Actually, I do own a really nice cowboy hat. Guess how much X it is.
Cowboy hats can be really expensive.
I know. That's why I'm saying.
I bought cowboy boots in Nashville. My wife kind of pressured me into it. It was a hard, pure pressure. Some would call it bullying. But I bought them, and they were like, oh, they're the most comfortable things. And I've worn them a couple times, and they were so uncomfortable. I need to get them. Can you get them stretched?
Yeah, you stretch them with your feet, man.
Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. We love the participation. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street, where you get to deal with the owner. You can rent basically anything you need for a job, or you can go for your lawn and gardening Husqvarna dealer. Get the peace of mind, the warranty with anything Husqvarna at Prairie Land Rentals. Again, 600 Albert Street, 936-6262. First question of the day. Can you stretch out cowboy boots without just your feet, Curtis? I know. And they haven't stretched with my... wide foot in there, and they hurt actually on the top of the foot.
Like, I think, like, if you get them a bit wet, they break in a little bit faster. But yeah, you just gotta wear them around the house or whatever you need to do
with shorts.
Yeah,
great look.
Speaking of boots, it's like kind of like my TV. I accidentally stole my second pair of cowboy boots. Actually,
you stole them.
By accident. I had full intention of paying for them, but...
Sounds like a reoccurring theme here, doesn't it, people?
I'm not a dirty thief, I swear.
Curtis likes to mistakenly get things in his possession. He doesn't call it stealing.
Whoopsie.
Accidentally. Riders and Hamilton Sunday. I don't know if you have any clips from today yet.
I do.
Curtis, you do? Okay, but I want to first off, did anyone watch the game last night? Did Winnipeg or did you watch, Ottawa and Edmonton, Curtis?
Ottawa and Edmonton? Yeah, a little bump and grind action. We saw Justin Rankin get 3 tutties. Three tutties.
They're called touchdowns. Justin Rankin, yeah, he did go off, but Jake Mayer's a nice guy. He was in the studio. I think he has got a future in broadcasting, maybe. He's going to go, great guy. But he threw 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
And these, I say 2, maybe 3 of them are definitely his fault. Like, yeah, the receivers maybe don't run the best routes. This is if you're watching the stream, this is one where he gets plowed and he just kind of tossed it up. And Ford picked it off to Eberhardt. But it was 4 interceptions. I swear I had to look after because it felt like 8 or 9. And I was like, what is the record in the CFL for most interceptions in a game? And
it's probably +5 for sure.
I was actually thinking about looking this up earlier. Now, and it wants to give me the NFL one. It wants to give me the NFL one. But if anyone out there was watching it with me, and I started feeling really sorry for Jake Mayer. And I took an in-game sprinkle that Ottawa was going to. I took the 10.5 spread at about halftime, and I'm like, nah, you know what? They're not going to get blown out of this. And then Edmonton just piled it on, and it was like, oh, another interception. What is that? 6 or 7?
It's 4.
I know it felt like more though.
According to the records, the most known, the known record holders,
5.
7. 1955, Tom Dublinski threw 7.
The old Dauber Blinsky.
And also, there was another game where someone threw 7. Frank Tripucka.
We call him
Trips threw 7 as
okay,
well.
so 7. That's what it felt like last night.
And Johnny Manziel threw 4 interceptions his first game in the CFL in 2018. Shout out, honorable mention to Johnny Manziel.
There we go. Yeah, Mayer, he had 1 touchdown, 293 yards, 26 to 39. He had a rough game. I thought Edmonton was maybe there for the pickings, but like you said, Justin Rankin, and then Javon Leake was running really well there for a lot of times. He only finished with 85 yards. Again, it felt like he had more if you were watching that game, but they kind of went with a little tandem action on us, Rankin and Leake.
Oh yeah, what was there was an interesting stat that I saw. So before the game, Justin Rankin was on pace for over 1,000 rushing yards and over 1,000 receiving yards. He is still, in fact, on pace after 5 games. So, according to John here, he works with TSN stats. So he's on pace for 1,847 rushing yards, 1,069 receiving yards, 2,916 yards from scrimmage, and 25 total TDs, which is on pace to beat Milt Stiegel's record for the single season TD record.
Interesting.
That's crazy, eh?
That guy.
So maybe Justin Rankin will be on the TSN analyst board at the end of his career.
Yeah, I am now really, 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 really intrigued by the July 23rd game when Edmonton rolls in here to Saskatchewan. Really intrigued for this game. Now, it's couple weeks away and we got to take care of business against Hamilton, but I want to see how we stack up against the Elks there. And last night they did good, especially that back half of the game. As a fan, you got to sit there and go, they look pretty good. Tonight when we talk to Suits coming up here in a bit, he's calling the game. I am curious. I'm a curious guy to watch Toronto and Winnipeg And the line, and we'll get into sprinkle of the day later, a lot of places still sitting at 60.5 points. What? Come on. Drew Brown wasn't good enough or wasn't prepared enough to play last week, and now he's going in, and we're going to see an absolute shootout. I think Toronto take an alternate spread. I like Toronto I'd take 3.5. Minus 3.5, Toronto. Maybe I'm just not giving enough credit to Winnipeg, and it's not because anything. I just haven't seen enough from Winnipeg. Like last week when Caleros went down. Whoa.
Yeah, when I was kind of like sifting through a lot of the footage of the game, kind of looking for certain things, as soon as Bo Levi went down and Zach Caleros went down, Caleros went down. It was just like a handoff kind of game. It was just handing it off to Brady Oliveira over and over and over again. And honestly, it's kind of funny giving a little bit of criticism in that regard, because when you don't hand the ball off to Brady Oliveira, we're always asking, why don't you hand the ball off to Brady Oliveira? But then as soon as you see only handing the ball off to Brady Oliveira, you're like, where are the passing plays?
Steve on the Prairie Land Rentals text line through the YouTube chat says Vernon Adams had 6 interceptions last year. I do not recall that. That is a lot. Thanks for the message, Steve. Heather says until Ottawa establishes a running game, their QB will always have troubles.
Was it last year or was that
Heather
2023?
Heather, was it 2023? But Heather, running game, yes. But you look at some of those interceptions that Jake threw last in the game. Like the one was I thought, piss poor pattern by the wide receiver on an out route that the cornerback basically read before the receiver.
Ooh.
And there was another one. You keep showing this one. This was just a prayer, and he wanted his guy to fight for it. That's the name of the game there. But Ford came down with it, and yeah, he takes a massive lick too. So I get what you're saying, Heather, but yeah, they got to have better options and better routes.
Barney
I think from
just
the receivers
breaking down the plays over here. Big analyst guy.
Yes. Now I'm gonna get into the stats part of the program. No, just kidding. Yeah, I know. I didn't pay 60. Are you kidding me? 936 62 62. 60 points tonight. Toronto and Winnipeg. What am I missing? Am I a crazy person? Why does that seem like a lot of points for Drew Brown and Winnipeg?
Maybe it's less about Drew Brown and Winnipeg and more about Toronto and Chad Kelly.
What is he going to put up 45, 50 on his own? Okay, maybe, I guess.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, he put up 44 against Ottawa in that third week.
Ottawa's. I don't know if we want to measure anything against Ottawa.
They put up 40 against us.
I don't know if we want to measure anything against Ottawa.
Even when they got spanked by Calgary, they put up 36.
Okay, what do we got for clips here from the Riders today? Because they're obviously practicing today and tomorrow because the game's not until Sunday.
Yeah, we got a few clips. So Coach Mace was asked during the Rider practice, why do you think you haven't had defensive turnovers?
Yeah, it's just making plays on the ball, man. We just, we just haven't been touching it, and that's a all 12 kind of thing. Your front end's tied in with the back end. I don't think we've been playing terrible defense. It's just waiting on our opportunities. But sometimes you got to go force them. It's not so much just the interceptions. We've had a multitude of plays where somebody on the other team's carrying the ball. We can certainly do a better job trying to remove the ball from the ball carrier as well. Forcing fumbles. So just always constantly looking at things and how we can get better. But certainly the turnover department is one of them.
They want the turnovers. We all want the turnovers. Yeah. I wouldn't get super worried or bent out of shape about that with things so early in the turnover they've had in the secondary.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about it. What's the next clip? Curtis.
Yeah, speaking of secondary, one of the more underrated players in the league, Coach Mace was being able to pit DeMarcus Fields anywhere.
You know, we always talk about how important that free safety position is. Field half also is extremely crucial. It's probably the hardest position to play, I think, on the back end. Fieldsy is an excellent communicator. He's a great tackler. He's got good speed. You know, I think he's honestly one of the more underrated guys in the league. But he's been available and he's been reliable.
Okay. There we go. A couple of clips there from Coach Mace. Fantastic job, Curtis, for the read-ins there.
Thank you.
On the spots.
I'm going to be a pro in no time.
You will. We will. There we go. Ian Hanneman Singh, look out. Curtis is coming for you. Is he still on the air?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
I thought you look at the kind of guy that would like watch state-run TV. You don't have TV.
No.
That's right. Never mind. Okay. Glenn Suter is standing by live from Winnipeg, Manitoba. We're going to talk to Suits when we get back. It's the Sports Cage on this Friday, brought to you by SaskToday.ca. We are on 620 CKRM, 100 years old, and streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
The Country Music Rewind with Colin Lovequist.
It was a monumental time for country music history, serving as the calm before the storm. The airwaves were packed with legendary hits, and the charts were shifting to pave the way for crossover megastars. We're going to feature this time period, 1997.
The Country Music Rewind with Colin Lovequist. Brought to you by Crawford's No Frills. Saturday afternoons at 4 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on Country's Greatest Hits, 620 CKRM.
He's gaining on us. Quick, let's hide in the garage.
No. It's stuck. Again.
You said you fixed it.
I meant to. I just never called Busy Bee Doors.
Lift it. Hurry, lift it.
It won't budge. It's busted.
Don't let a broken garage door turn into a horror story. Call Busy Bee Doors. They can fix or replace any commercial or garage door. Busy Bee Doors, the garage door specialists.
Have you looked at the outside of your home lately? Whether it's the deck, garage, siding, stone, or shingles, Freeze Tallman has the products to help bring your next project to life. From composite and pressure-treated decking to railing and exterior finishes, they've got everything you need to refresh your home and backyard. Start planning today at freezetallman.com. Freeze Tallman. Locally owned, family grown, rooted in our community for 70 years.
Out here in southern Saskatchewan, the sun shows up for work every day. Might as well make it earn its keep. That's where Keln Solar comes in. These folks travel all over the province helping people put solar on their homes, farms, and cabins. They're local guys, Sask-born, Sask-raised, and not going anywhere. Except, to your place. Now's the time to start planning for spring and summer 2026 bookings. Give Keln Solar a call and they'll come show you your best options. Keln Solar. They move the power so you don't have to. KelnSolar.com.
Time now for press coverage with CFL and Saskatchewan Roughrider legend Glenn Suter on the Sports Cage. Brought to you by Freeze Tallman Lumber. Locally owned, family grown, rooted in our community for 70 years in Regina and Fort Capel.
All right, we got him on the horn because he's some sort of construction outside of his hotel room, so he's on the phone. But he's joining us nonetheless. I appreciate him doing this on a game day. He's getting ready for the call in Winnipeg. Glenn Suter. What do you got going on outside your room, Glenn? Some drywalling, some drilling? So what are they building?
It is one of those trips where everything seems to be going a little bit sideways, but we're trying to keep it on the rails. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but right outside of my door or beside it, or maybe it's the room beside mine. I'm not sure where they are exactly, but the drilling sounds. Well, you would never have been able to hear me. So we were trying to do Zooms with the riders and with the Ticats.
Oh, wow.
And try to negotiate the bad Wi-Fi and the crazy drilling that's going on. But, hey, we got a couple good football games coming up, and that's what I'm focused on. Yeah.
Look, and I know we brought you back on today because we want to talk Riders in Hamilton, which we're going to do in a moment. But I got to say, Glenn, I just asked people this out there in Sportscage land. Am I crazy? Why do I still see a line, an over-under tonight of 60.5 points when we got Drew Brown against the Toronto? Yeah, Chad Kelly can sling it around and they can score points, but 60 seems like a lot in this game, mostly because of who's at QB for the Bombers.
Yeah, it seems like a lot, although the trend this year has been high scoring, as you know, but that's with those veteran quarterbacks. And every time we've talked about that, that has been the number one reason. I would also add that the big returns and the quality of returners have added to those points totals. And there's two good returners going tonight in Winnipeg. There's Vavel and we've got a couple of great returners in this one. And, I look at the field position, then you add the veteran quarterbacks. Now, in Hamilton, can Jake Dolagala put 30 on the board? He's with Scott Milenovich. That's another game you're looking at to see, could that get up there in points as well? Trevor certainly can put it up. But for Chad Kelly tonight, Chad Kelly is averaging around 370 yards a game, okay, and even in the losses. And he has thrown more touchdowns than anyone in the league, but he's also thrown more interceptions than anyone in the league. So that's the other side of that coin. But with Chad, it's about the big play. He has made 12 of those plays down the field, 30 plays. Then you add in Janarian Grant and Trey Vavel, and you got good returners, good field position. The question is, can Drew Brown find some chemistry that he used to have with guys like Nick Dembski? Because he knows Nick Dembski well. He played with him. They were teammates when he was in Winnipeg. He got 3 starts when he was in Winnipeg, won 2 of them. And in 2 of them, this might help you. This might help you in your sprinkling.
Okay.
In two of the Drew Brown games that he started for the Bombers. Now the receiving core is slightly different, but Dembski is the common thread there, and so is Brady Oliveira. But when you look at the two wins, he was over 300 yards passing, and he came off the bench one time that year, a couple years ago when he was with the Bombers, and threw for over 400 and 4 touchdown passes. Now, again, different OC, different receiving core slightly. There's a commonality in Nick Dembski. And I said this yesterday, but I truly believe that there's extra motivation when you are treated the way Drew has been treated. I don't mean disrespectfully, I just mean he got released, he got cut, he was told he wasn't good enough to play in Ottawa. And believe me, he wants Ryan Dinwiddie to be watching tonight, and he wants to light it up, especially with them struggling and losing another game.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. He might have just saved me some money today, by the way. So I appreciate that. Hey, Let's shift to the game Sunday, because you're coming in. You're doing the game. It's going to be hot, by the way. So don't wear anything too thick, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's that obviously affects players, and then we got to watch the weather. Like tonight in Winnipeg, you got to be watching the sky as well, because it's hot there. You never know what's going to roll in on the prairies when it's hot like that. But Sunday, Glenn. Jake Dolagala, first off, did you think, just with the success he's had against the Riders, did you think that we were maybe going to have Trey Ford as the starter named?
Yeah, I was curious on that one, but I talked to Scott Milenovich about it, and he said, it was an interesting sort of training camp preseason, and then what we've seen so far in the regular season with Bo being the guy the whole time, and then Trey coming off the bench, and then Dolagala playing late. He said, when I've evaluated these 2 quarterbacks, neither one of them has sort of separated from the pack and kind of separated to a point where the coach is forced to go, well, he's clearly won the job for the number 2 spot. He said there were times when Trey looked really good and had a great practice or a great preseason game, and then there was a time when Jake looked really good and had a good preseason game, and then there was the next time when they didn't look so good. So he said it's been a little bit up and down, but he didn't really talk much about the experience level. I think Trey's they probably started similar amount of games. Trey probably a little bit more than Jake, but I think if you're looking at the system, Jake fits the system better because Bo is a drop back pocket guy, read the defense, get it out of his hands. Jake is a drop back pocket guy.
Yeah.
He can move, but he is a drop back pocket guy, and Trey is completely different. So, that's why I'm not overly surprised that it's Jake. Had a great conversation with him today around the drill noise in my room, and he's real excited. He doesn't like the way this has happened. Obviously, no one wants to see a teammate go down to injury like Bo did, but he is really excited about leading this team. Jake Dolagala has been in quarterback rooms with Trevor Harris, Zach Collaros, and Bo Levi Mitchell now, and Cody Fajardo. So when you look at that kind of experience and what he's been able to absorb from all four of those guys, and now Scott Milinovic as well, he feels like he is at a completely different level of confidence today than he was when he was in Saskatchewan, for instance. So, I take that for what it's worth. That's still talk before we actually kick it off, but he appeared very confident and looking forward to this chance.
Kind of like the Riders, I feel, where they have somewhat of a plethora of receivers and good receivers. And, when Trevor has time, he's dissecting it and throwing it around the yard to whoever. Yeah, KSB's had some games. Sam Emlis has had some games. Keyshawn last week. But I feel even though it's Jake Dolagala that's standing at 6'7", you got Smith, Lawler, Wheatfall, Gittins Jr., Roundtree on that Hamilton team. All can catch the ball as well. Who's maybe the guy on that receiving core, Glenn, that doesn't get the accolades?
Well, I think Keandre Smith is starting to get them now, so he might not fit. Maybe Wheatfall has really kind of not come into his own yet, but is definitely 1,000-yard. The skill set is there to be 1,000-yard receiver for sure. So we maybe haven't seen that yet as a Hamilton Tiger Cat. We saw it more as a Bomber when he was a Bomber, but that would be the guy that'd sort of be the under-the-radar guy. But I talked to Corey Mace today about that. I said, man, I'd be tempted right now to play against Kenny Lawler, to play defensively like a cover two man, which is basically you man-to-man. You put a man on every one of the receivers underneath, but you also have two guys free over the top, and you could lean those guys to the Kenny Lawler side of the field. And I said, do you get tempted to think that way just to make sure Kenny Lawler doesn't beat you? And he said, not really. The only reason I don't do that is because if you're going to do that, you better be sure that the other receivers they have aren't going to do anything, that they're not a threat at all. And those other receivers that they have are threats. So I lean away from overplaying one guy on their offense, although Kenny Lawler is so good. He's going to make his plays. Let's put it that way. He'll make his plays. But to answer your question, I think Wheatfall would be the under-the-radar guy.
No, that's good. I'm going to be totally transparent here and be honest. I don't know a lot about the Hamilton defense. Where would they be susceptible for Mark Mueller and Trevor Harris on Sunday?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think balance. I talked to Wynton McManus today, and he's in start number 2, so just getting his feet settled in that defense. Of course, an all-star in Toronto at middle linebacker, and he thinks this defense is better than the Grey Cup champion Toronto defense that he played in a couple of years ago. He said that when he looks at the D-line and then looks behind him at the secondary, he goes, wow, we've got we got players across the board. And then he said, when we watch film, we're flying around and making plays, and it's a very unselfish group. So when, he's a real candid guy, a character too, by the way. Love talking to this guy because he's one of those old school. One of his lines, you'll love this, Barney. One of his lines, I was asking him about his health and how he felt because he was injured at the beginning of the season. And he said, when you get older in life, the prehab is more important because it stops the rehab.
Yeah.
I said, prehab. So he goes, yeah, so I'm walking around with ice on my knees before practice. And people are going, are you okay? And I'm saying, yeah, I'm fine. This is just prehab. So anyway, I had a good laugh at that. But anyway, I look at this defense and think it's a balanced attack. But you know what? A.J. Ouellette looks like he's coming back. The Rider offense should be just fine. I mean, honestly, they've got maybe the most productive quarterback in the league. He and Davis Alexander and Trevor. Keyshawn is coming on. It could be any different receiver, as you mentioned, at any given time, depending on what they do defensively, Hamilton. So, I against any defense in this league, I think the Rider offense is going to be just fine if they just do their thing and don't try and do too much.
And it looks, looking at the report coming out for the game and game status for Sunday, A.J. Ouellette is available. We expect A.J. Ouellette back. Thomas Bertrand, Houdon is out. But Quali Conley, I really liked him for the Riders, Glenn. I know you've watched the games. I don't know what you see there. And people are going to say, AJ and the blocking and the chemistry that he has with Trevor, for sure. But they're running backs. This isn't the first time they've had to block for a quarterback. I really like how Conley's look. Now, I'm not saying we want AJ in, of course. I'm not a crazy person. But I think we have something. We have something there as a secondary threat with Conley.
I agree, and so does the coach. I asked him that very question, or Dustin did today, and he was real happy with Conley. And he made a point of talking about how well he has blocked in the passing game, that he really takes pride in it, like AJ. So you're bang on. And then my next question was, is there any way you can get them both on the roster? And he said, probably not for this game, but they're maybe down the road. You never know. So I agree, and so does the coach, that Conley has been excellent in replacing AJ. But the other aspect, let's say they're both, AJ has a little edge in experience, Conley has a little more jump because he's younger, those kind of things. They both block well, they both run the ball well. Okay, so what does AJ bring that Conley can't? And that's just another leadership element to the sideline, to the huddle, to the locker room. It's really hard, even when you're a good leader like Wynton McManus or A.J. Ouellette, it's hard to lead when you're on the injured list, even if it's the one game injured.
Yeah,
you're sort of out of the picture. You're kind of, you want to say things, but you got to stay out of the way a little bit. And when you're back in with the pads on, you're back into that role, and that's an important role for A.J. in this team.
Defensively, Nelson Lacombo is ruled out. Benoit Marion is out. Roland Milligan Jr. is out for the Riders. Defensively, Glenn, what do you have circled to watch Riders defensively, or maybe one player?
The player I've been really enjoying, and I guess I'm a little bit biased, Barney, because of the position he plays, but Jackson Ford has continued to ascend here. He keeps, the arrow is up with Jackson Ford, making plays, flying around, taking control, not getting too anxious and starting to jump things and maybe get out of position when he wants to try and create a play, rather have the play come to him, be patient, and then go attack. And I think he's found that balance, and he keeps playing better. So all of these changes and things that are going to happen in the secondary with rolling out, if you have a guy who knows the defenses, knows the checks, is playing with great confidence in the middle, then he can rally those guys around. They feel a lot better, even if they're young. So I like I'm watching him over the last couple of games. I'll continue to watch him. And by the way, Josh Woods turned around and said to us today that when he turns around and looks at Jackson, he just thinks, wow, this guy's a player. He's getting his nose in there. And so when your teammates are starting to say that, that's when you know you're playing well. That's the guy I'm going to kind of watch. The question for me, though, Barney, is how are they going to attack a young guy that in Dola Gala that is a great opportunity. He has a little experience, but do you all out blitz a guy like that, or do you try to disguise your stuff and try and fool him into throwing it where he doesn't want to throw it? And I asked Corey Mace that today, and you'll never guess what the answer is. I'm not telling you what we're going to do.
Come on, Coach.
Give me the playbook, Coach. Let's go.
Give me a hint. But you know what? With that said, Suits, and football's football. Doesn't matter at what level. But when you have a guy that was in your stable, and the Riders, along with tape, agreed, but he was here. They might know things. It's like, okay, analytics, data-wise, he looks this way more than that way. If he gets into trouble, he's going to shift this way. They might know a lot of that, where then they can, like you said, disguise something or somebody to come off an edge and whatnot. I think the benefit, as much as he knows the Riders, but there's turnover there, they know him. It's more of a benefit to the Riders.
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of benefit there, especially when you're breaking it down. When he scrambles, which way does he scramble most of the time? If you rush him off the right side, like his strong arm, his passing arm, if you come from that side, if you're blitzing, does he automatically try to escape, or does he try to throw into the teeth of the blitz? He's tall and can see over the rush, so you know that they're going to have a game plan, and Scott will have a game plan, Scott Malenovich, to help him handle those kind of things. But you're right. There's a lot of little tells that you can pick up. And, for my game tonight in Winnipeg, I talked to Ralph Hawley, a defensive tackle. He says, you'd be surprised how many tells there are in offensive line that you play against when you're a defensive lineman. The guy will lean one way, or he'll pick his hand slightly off the ground in his stance when it's a pass blocking situation. Like there's all of these little indicators that if you're really tuned in and you've done your film work, you're going to get an edge or a split second quicker to the quarterback or the ball out of your hands, depending on your position. And so you're right. They know him. They have tape on him. This isn't a rookie. This isn't a rookie playing that they're playing against. And he's highly motivated to lead this team, feels very confident, but he's not a rookie. They have lots of film on him. And there are probably some of those tells that they would never tell us about before the game. Because if they did, Jake would change the habit immediately.
Oh, good stuff, Suits. Thanks for doing this on a Friday. Really appreciate it. And you know what? You go back to your room. They might be done drilling. I know you like to stay at the Coachman when you're in Regina. You never know what you're going to hear outside your room there. But maybe mosey on up and see if your room's okay to go into.
I think it'll be another coffee in the lobby, and then we're on our way to the park. But hey, anytime. You know that, Barney. Anytime.
Is Dusty doing the game here with you as well, or are you just coming solo?
Nope, we're both going. We're both on the morning flight tomorrow to Regina, and both looking forward to it. We're both on the Zoom calls today with both teams and getting locked in for both games. A little bit tricky. I almost asked Coach Mace how he was going to handle Kevin Meatall, who was a receiver for the Argos. Almost asked him that. And then I went, oh, wait, that's tonight's game, not tomorrow. Not Sunday's game.
I'll shoot him a text, but you let Dusty know if he's bored tomorrow night in the area, he can come out and watch Creed at Country Thunder. I know he'd be a Creed guy.
I'll let him know. I bet he is. That sounds like his thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Shoot him.
I'll tell him.
Get him to text me. All right, Suits, have a good call. See you on Sunday.
Okay, thanks, Barney.
There he is, Glenn Suter. Special edition of press coverage for Fries Tallman Lumber because it was abbreviated yesterday. Fries Tallman, Fort Capel, and Regina. More than a lumber yard. They got siding, decking, roofing, windows, doors. They got door handles. They got screws. They got tools in there as well. And delivery available. Order a box of screws and get them to deliver that. See how that goes over. I want to see the fellas at Fries Tallman. They're great in Fort Capel and Regina. Okay, we're going to come back. A little more audio from Rider practice today. We'll let you know what happened at the World Cup. It's a Sports Cage on the 100-year-old veteran 620 CKRM.
The Roughriders season is here, and the biggest 50-50 in Saskatchewan is back. Last year's 50-50 raised over $3.3 million for amateur football in Saskatchewan, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Rider Nation. This year, we have bigger loyalty and early bird prizes than ever before, not to mention those life-changing 50-50 jackpots. See all of the prizes and buy your tickets today at riders5050.ca, and never miss a chance to win when you sign up for the 50-50 Club.
Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Lottery license LR260010.
Have you looked at the outside of your home lately? Whether it's the deck, garage, siding, stone, or shingles, Fries Tallman has the products to help bring your next project to life. From composite and pressure-treated decking to railing and exterior finishes, they've got everything you need to refresh your home and backyard. Start planning today at FriesTallman.com. Fries Tallman. Locally owned, family grown, rooted in our community for 70 years.
Hey, Regina. Ready? The monsters are coming. Monsters in Mayhem crashes into Kings Park Speedway this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Finally, Regina. An outdoor, no-holds-barred crushing showdown featuring high-flying, car-crushing monster trucks, wild mini monsters, and gravity-defying freestyle motocross. Now listen up. Tickets on sale now at outlawsofmotorsports.ca and at the gate while supplies last.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. Powered by Prairie Land Rentals. From power tools to skid steers, they probably have what you need for your job. 600 Albert Street, where you deal with the owner. Welcome back to Sports Cage. Missed any part of the show? Check out the podcast powered by Fries Tallman at 620ckrm.com and sportscage.com.
Welcome back to the Friday edition of the Sports Cage. Curtis is with me. We're heading out to the Valley. Country Thunder starts tonight. Main stage should be right away, I think. I just got a picture and a note saying it is hot out there. So, newsflash for you right there. It's, you know what, though, Curtis? This weather, let's be honest, everybody, and like I said to Suits in Winnipeg tonight, you got to keep your head on a swivel, eyeballs up later, because something is going to roll in the next 3 days. Hopefully, not the, damaging, but there's going to be some weather rolling in with this weather.
Riders on the storm. Doors. My favorite band.
Screw you. The Doors. Speaking of soccer fans, plug your ears if you don't want to know what happened today at the World Cup. Spain, I didn't even know this. Spain hadn't let a goal in until the game today where they took on Belgium. Ears closed if you don't want to know. And Spain will be advancing.
Surprise.
2-1. 2-1. Good. I didn't sprinkle on this one.
Why not?
Forgot it. I was too busy. And then I was like, I'm not going to have any time to watch it anyway. So tomorrow there's 2 games, World Cup style. So tomorrow feels like a air conditioning day until like 4 in the afternoon until you got to go out to Country Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
But Spain advances.
You're telling me you don't sprinkle on games that you can't watch? You never do one of those sneaky sprinkles where you're like, and you just check the score the next day and you're like, oh, I cashed.
Yeah, but that's by mistake. Like usually if I'm sprinkling, it's the entertainment that I want to watch the game.
Okay.
So it's very seldom I do a blind sprinkle of any sort. So, okay, there's that I wanted to touch on. for people out there. And then let's get back into some Rider audio today from practice. If you missed it, the Rider, I guess, game status came out. Thomas Bertrand-Houdon, which we kind of figured yesterday, he's out. Darius Bell is out. Tavon Campbell is in. Jaden Dalkey is in. Genty is out. Jalen Johnson is out. Nelson Lacombo is out. Benoit Marion, not to be confused with Marion Benoit, is out. Roland Milligan Jr. is out. AJ Ouellette available. Matthew Sexton available. Ryder Varga, I thought maybe he was going to get his first action in, and I know the ratio thing and how that all works, or maybe he just needs a little more practice. Thought maybe a Ryder was going to be in. But then the Riders are on a bye week next week.
Yes, they're on a bye next week.
So there's time to rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Rest season.
Which he was like banged up when they signed him too.
Yeah, knee. Little knee problem. AJ Ouellette, we expect him back in the fold. AJ Ouellette today talking to reporters about the inconsistencies of the offense.
Like we've been preaching on, we're just not consistent yet. But we got playmakers everywhere. Like I said, today we had a compete period, third down against our own defense, and that's my favorite thing to do is pass protect and watch our receivers go to work because they're all dogs.
You know my first thought when I watch that video, if you're watching the stream? How hot is that beard?
It's probably toasty, that's for sure.
In this weather and what's to come, yeah. AJ's beard, I didn't think about it. AJ Ouellette, Andrew Harris talks about intentional physicality. AJ's asked, what is that?
Yeah, not every play has to show how tough and how physical you are. You can pick and choose your battles. If you're going up against 5 defenders, you do not have to stick your head in the middle of it and kill yourself. You can kind of pick and choose when that beast comes out.
Makes sense. I think we're all excited to see him back in the fold. Like I said when I had suits on, I don't know enough. I don't know much about the Hamilton Tiger Cats defense, so I'm curious to watch that. About Prairie Land Rentals text line. Sorry, everybody. I had to do a refresh here and a load. James says Kerry Joseph threw 5 picks. We're talking about interceptions earlier because it felt like Jake Mayer threw 8 or 9 last night in that game, but it was only 4. Kerry Joseph threw 5 picks in the 2014 semifinal in Edmonton. That does kind of ring a bell there, James. There was somebody else that messaged in, Curtis, if you're going about the interceptions on players. Trevor texted in, said Jake Dolegala was also in BC's QB room with Nathan Rourke. Yeah, remember that. Roscoe is saying Spain way outplayed Belgium today. Look out, France. Going to be tough to beat. He also says Shirley Roberts in Nashville had a pair of cowboy boots that fit me. It was Roberts Western World. It was down the street where I bought them. And then Danny texted in about cowboy boots, says if you wear them enough, they'll feel like slippers, so comfortable. That's what my wife said, Dan, and it was a lie. That is a lie. The top of my foot hurts.
Clearly, you've never broken in cowboy boots before. They are very comfortable.
There was never any note that said I had to break them in.
It's just common
sense. My wife sold me on that they were going to fit, they were going to feel so nice. I think she said actually too that they're going to feel like slippers.
They feel terrible until they feel amazing. You know, it's like are you a Birkenstock guy? You ever get Birkenstocks?
Yeah, my son. I wear my son's Birkenstocks. I got ugly feet, so I don't wear them all that much. But yeah, they're big. The kids are big Birkenstocks people.
They're like they break to your feet too. So if you get your own pair, they are extremely comfortable once you kind of wear them in.
Okay, I got you. Got you. Captain Harvey and his wife laughing really hard. Something I said with the interview with Suits. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening on this Friday. Curtis is with me in the valley for a little country thunder. Maybe you're cruising in for the weekend. I know I'm going to be out there and watching, but I got to keep an eye on this Toronto-Winnipeg game tonight. Suits kind of talked me off the ledge with the under, saying that, Drew Brown and going back to some of his older games. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of points scored tonight in Winnipeg.
You never know. I feel like every game thus far, minus like that Winnipeg and Hamilton one, have been very high scoring games, to be honest. I'm trying to think. Is there any other ones that were
there's been like two that were somewhat lower scoring. Not that low. Not when both of those quarterbacks go out, though. Like that, and that's an anomaly.
Maybe I'll be the devil's advocate. And the other low-scoring game was Winnipeg versus Edmonton, 23-18. So both low-scoring games this season,
including Winnipeg,
both had Winnipeg in it.
Inclusive of Winnipeg and the Bombers. It's up to them. All right, we got more to come. More Rider stuff later. Farhan Lalji is going to talk CFL and World Cup live from Boston in hour 2. We'll go to break here. It's a Sports Cage on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM.
Rider Nation lives on 620 CKRM. I'm Dave Thomas, voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Sunday is game day as the Riders take on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Countdown to kickoff with Tegan Whitco and Wes Cates is at 2. The pregame show's at 4. And kickoff with Luke Mullender and I is at 5. Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network is brought to you by UFA, Steelcraft Doors, Stars Lottery, Salford Group, and Sask NDP Caucus. Stream every moment of Rider football at sportscage.com.
Did you know you can get endless streaming and live entertainment anywhere in Canada?
Now wait just a moose a minute.
You can, thanks to Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer. So cross that border to Flin Flon, Manitoba, and your shows come with you. Why stop there? Head to Vulcan, Alberta, or heck, even St. Louis du Ha-Ha, Quebec, the town with exclamation marks in its name. See Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer, for details on Max TV Stream, internet, and cellular service.
This is Grace Payne, Miss Rodeo Moose Mountain 2026. Hidden away on the north side of the Moose Mountains is one of Saskatchewan's premier professional rodeos, the Moose Mountain Pro Rodeo in Kennedy. It all starts Friday, July 17th, with the slack performance at 11. Saturday starts at 3 with the parade, rodeo performance at 6, plus happy hour, sheep scramble, trick riding, wild ponies, and a cabaret dance. Final performance is Sunday at 2. The Moose Mountain Pro Rodeo. Big time rodeo, small town Saskatchewan.
Pile of Bones Rodeo rides into the Brant Center July 17th and 18th. Real District, in partnership with Canadian Western Agribition and Original 16, presents 2 nights of professional rodeo action. Proudly presented by 620 CKRM. And when the Saturday night rodeo ends, the party begins. Head to the Ag X East building for the Pile of Bones Cabaret, featuring live music from Rock Solid. The Pile of Bones Rodeo, July 17th and 18th. Tickets now at realdistrict.ca. Dirt will fly.
Give your crop the best chance for success with Power Rich Fertilizer. Power Rich packs a punch with the most nutrients possible in every liter of foliar, helping to give you a superior product that delivers results you can count on. Power Rich fertilizers allow for better water absorption and efficiency by the plant, as well as better nutrient uptake. Add to the health of your crop and increase your bottom line with Power Rich. Call Power Rich Fertilizers today. 1-800-663-GROW.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Rent a water heater and water softener starting at about $1.20 a day and get $400 when you switch to Reliance Heath.
Soccer fans, Spain soccer fans, you advanced 2-1 over Belgium. The only game at the World Cup today. CFL tonight, battle of 2-2 teams. Argos are a 2-point favorite in Winnipeg, taking on Drew Brown and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Western Canadian Baseball League tonight in Medicine Hat. Regina Red Sox trying to get back in the win column. Swift Current hosting Saskatoon, and Weyburn welcomes Okotoks. Blue Jays, they start a series in San Diego this evening. Sports Ticker in hour 1 is for Reliance Heath. Rent a water heater and softener together for about $1.20 a day. Get $400 cash back. Some conditions apply. Call on Reliance. Okay, I get to do a segment in the Rider pregame shows called Behind the Face Mask. Kind of a chance to interview people and go through the journey and ask questions that you don't get to ask, and like the game day stuff. This week I'm doing Marcus Sales. I did it a couple days ago. Marcus thought it was going to be an interview about X's and O's and game plays and all that. And just a great guy, all in all. Here's a tease for Marcus Sales, because he reveals, which I kind of knew, he was a heck of a receiver in high school and thinks he still has it.
I think I could play receiver now still. I always kick it with the receivers now because I tell them I'm the best route runner. I probably ain't got the best hands, but I got the best routes for sure though. So
you got one route. It's the end of the game. You got one route to run. What's the route?
I think if you give me a 15-yard dig, I'm cooking anybody.
Most guys say the go route, right? But you
I need the dig. I need to run a real route.
Yeah, that's great stuff. We're going to have a couple more teases coming up. Farhan Lalji in hour 2. More from the Riders. We're going to hear from Josh Woods. It's a Sports Cage, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
We are 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
News is brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. Call 781-2090.
It's 4 p.m. Good afternoon. Mostly sunny and 30 degrees in Regina. I'm Denis Conroy from the SAS Today newsroom with 620 CKRM News. A multi-day heat event has started today and will continue through the weekend for much of southern Saskatchewan. Forecasts call for temperatures above 32 degrees for the next 4 days. Saturday and Sunday will be the hottest, with highs in the mid to high 30s and humidex values reaching the mid 40s. Overnight lows will stay warm, not falling below 16 degrees. Officials are urging people to drink water often, limit sun exposure, and check on older adults and others at higher risk of heat-related illness. Saskatchewan's economy added jobs in June, according to the latest numbers from Statistics Canada. More than 6,500 people found work last month, bringing the total number of employed in the province to nearly 622,000. Despite the job gains, the provincial unemployment rate held steady at 6.1%. Regionally, Yorkton-Melville boasts the lowest unemployment rate at 5.1%, while Prince Albert sits at the highest with 7.4%. The Saskatchewan NDP is renewing its criticism of staffing shortages at Regina's Urgent Care Centre. Speaking outside the facility, the opposition questioned why the province is planning additional urgent care centres when it says the Regina location has struggled to maintain staffing and operating hours. The NDP also cited information obtained through a Freedom of Information request and called for greater investment in family doctors, nurse practitioners, and primary care instead of expanding the urgent care model. A coach who says he was hired to lead the University of Regina Cougars women's basketball team is suing the university. Jordan Webb claims he signed a 3-year contract in April before the university later kept interim coach Michaela Kleisinger in the role. Webb alleges the agreement was unfairly terminated and is seeking damages. The University of Regina says it is aware of the lawsuit but cannot comment because the matter is before the courts. The allegations have not been proven. Country Thunder fans are being reminded to take it slow on the way to Craven. Reporting from the festival grounds, 620 CKRM's Colin Lovequist says traffic is moving steadily despite delays approaching the site.
There's construction coming right out of the city of Regina on Highway 11 at the overpass, and then more construction on the other turnoff with the overpass, and then you get a little closer to the grounds, there's some construction as well.
He says overnight rain has left some muddy areas, especially off gravel roads, but conditions should improve quickly. Drivers are also urged to watch for reduced speed limits and increased police enforcement, particularly near the Lumsden turnoff and festival entrance. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620CKRM.com.
When summer heat hits, there's nothing worse than an air conditioner that can't keep up. Stay cool, comfortable, and ready for those hot Saskatchewan days with a new Bryant air conditioner from Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Bryant systems are built for reliable performance, energy efficiency, and lasting comfort, so you can keep your home cool all summer long. Call Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today for more information or visit broncoplumbing.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Weather for next-gen coatings, spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name, 1865 McCarra Street, Regina.
Weather tonight, partly cloudy, a low down to 17. Watch the skies. So obviously it's been hot out. Looking at tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 32 with the Humidex. 36. Stay hydrated out in the valley. Tomorrow night, clear, low down to 18. That'll be all right for a little Creed. Sunday, mostly sunny. High of 34, Humidex 39. Be careful going to the Rider game or Country Thunder, wherever. Monday, mostly sunny, high 27, Humidex 32. And then Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 26. Currently downtown Regina, clear sky, sun is shining. It is 28 with the Humidex. It feels like 35.
For over 40 years, you've known them as Regina's trusted vehicle protection specialists. Now they're introducing the next gen of coatings. New name, new level of protection. They're now next gen coatings. 3 generations of their family have served your family, and that hasn't changed. Same owners, same commitment, ready for the next gen of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards. The company hasn't changed, just the name. Next Gen Coatings, 1865 McCarra Street. The next gen starts now.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Heavy debate going on back in the office there. During news, it's a Sports Cage on Friday for sastoday.ca. I went back during news.
Yes.
Can't see. I'm looking at my mouth is purple. And had a purple freezy. This is a good freezy day, let's be honest. We started the debate with some of the co-workers in the back about favorite flavor of freezy. 2 of them like the white, whatever that is. That's my least favorite, personally. Curtis?
I like orange. Orange is banging.
Orange slaps. I had an orange one earlier. Orange does slap, as the kids say. I just had a purple one. Nothing wrong. As a kid, I remember blue was my favorite, probably because it makes your tongue and whatever blue. But the white one?
It's like cream soda usually.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. And then Landon wanted to say, okay, ice cream or a freezy. Well, that's not even the same league. It's the same NHL East Coast Hockey League.
Which one's which, though?
I'm doing a freezy because we don't have an ice cream machine in the back. We have a bucket of freezies that were purchased like 3 years ago, and they don't go old. So yeah, I think the white freezies Bush League down at the bottom for me.
I don't mind it, but orange is definitely top tier if we're ranking freezies. Want to do a freezy power ranking? Heavy hitting news.
There we go. Riders and Stamps on Sunday. Farhan Lalji is going to be with us in about 7 minutes' time. Keep an eye on that. Question on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. How will the roster shuffling look like with Bertrand Houdon Locombo out tomorrow? Looks like Dalkey comes in for Locombo, but who replaces Houdon? Is the kid from the Thunder still around? I was wondering that too, and I'm not...
He's still on the practice roster, right? Like, he's not on the active roster. But yeah, because they're going to practice with them all year. They usually do that with some junior kids, keep them on the practice roster, and they get to practice with the Roughriders, but typically speaking, they don't play after the preseason.
Andrew on the text line says the White Freezies are just bad. So Andrew and I agree on that one.
Hey,
Comedy we disagreed. Today we agree.
We're gonna have to save this one for Where Do You Land Wednesday.
No, we got the hot dog one on Wednesday coming up. Riders and it's Riders. Sorry, I said Riders and Stamps. Yes, Riders and Tiger Cats coming up on Sunday here at Mosaic Stadium. Because I'm reading text messages while we do this. There's some funny ones and some good ones. Rose hasn't messaged in a while. I was wondering where Rose was, if she was on holidays. Rose says Birkenstocks are amazing footwear, not just outside in the city in the icy cold. That was one and done. Oh, Rose, do you take a spill in some Birkenstocks? They're not cheap either.
They're, like I said, they're worth it though, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, comfiest kind of sandals I've ever had, and I was so proud the summer that I got Birkenstock tan lines. I was like, wow, that was the goal for the summer, and it made it happen. Birkenstock tan lines.
That could be one of the weirdest goals I have ever heard someone want or have.
You draw weird lines in the sand, just FYI.
Yeah, that's okay. Be on the lookout for our friend Farhan. He should be coming up.
Yes,
here.
sir.
South Central Saskatchewan. If you just didn't hear the crazy alert, I think that's the first time I've ever heard it played in French as well. South Central Saskatchewan is that Dundurn area, Blackstrap Lake, Elbow, and Hanley. Used to have a free loaf of bread with a fill-up in Hanley at the gas station there. Keep an eye on the weather, though. It looks like a tornado. What is it, a watch or a warning? I don't want to butcher those up. Which one's the more drastic ones? Just keep an eye on the sky. You're not going into the cellar. You're not going into the cool room quite yet.
Yeah, just keep looking at the sky.
It's hot up.
Sportscage tornado watch.
It's hot, yeah. That's another thing I could never figure out. They're tornado hunters.
Have you ever seen a tornado in real life?
Yeah, like a little one from like far away. Yeah. Oh, there was a few years ago at Country Thunder. People were out there. We thought for sure we were getting drilled with some, which was scary. Like when it becomes real, now we're scaring. Now we're scary times.
I saw a clip not that long ago. I should have grabbed it for the stream, but it was a couple guys that were on a golf course when a tornado touches down. What would you do if a tornado touching down during tea time? Play on?
No. No. Roscoe today. Absolutely love our regulars that text in. I would have never guessed this, Roscoe. You could give me I don't know how many guesses, but Roscoe spent 33 years as a milkman.
Wow.
It was the Revel. Oh man, Revels. They don't have those anymore, I don't think. Creamsicle, Fudgicle, and Vico all day. What about the little ice cream cups, Roscoe, with that little wooden spoon thing? It wasn't even like a real spoon. It was like a wooden stick, and they kind of made it round. So you felt like it was a spoon, but it was far from a spoon. Didn't the milkman carry those as well? Yeah, that's those little... Did you ever have the ice cream cups? You must have. They think they still have them. They're little cups, and you get they used to give them around the schools quite a bit. It was a school thing.
Yeah. I remember getting it from Chartwell's. The Chartwell's cafeteria would get the ice cream cup. You would always save your toonie for it too. You're like, ooh, gotta keep my toonie for the ice cream.
Chartwell's, and you'd like a convenience store?
The Chartwell's is like a cafeteria, but it's like a cafeteria for like school districts.
Hey, little Curtis, here's your cup. And then they talk about you. There's that weird kid that likes tan lines. Okay. Prairie Land Rentals text line. How about a shout out to loyal Sportscage listener TJ, Tommy John Eamon, in David? What you didn't? Who's playing at Country Thunder on Sunday in the Songwriter Showcase? Oh, everyone should come check it out. He's a
shout out
Sportscage listener.
Shout out TJ.
TJ in Davidson. I've never done this Songwriter Showcase. I think that'd be fascinating to sit down and like listen and how songs are written. I think that's what it is, isn't it?
No clue.
Dixie Cup, Roscoe. Thank you. That's what they were called.
Dixie Cup. Whoa.
The Dixie Cup.
Yeah, I've had a Dixie Cup once or twice in my lifetime.
I brought this up to look for Farhan. I brought this up to people in the back as well, co-workers. Please, somebody out there remember this. If you were born in the 70s, maybe the 60s, early 80s, the snack and a half. It was like cookie ish in between, 2 cookies, ice cream in between, dipped in chocolate. And then it was in a package, and it was called Snack and a Half. Oh, man. And you can't buy them anymore. And that's like one of the things I was talking about yesterday, like the hot dog thing, the smell that takes you back. That'd be nice to find. Schwann's carried those ice cream cups with terrible wooden spoons. Millsy, Schwann's best trucks in the league. Two of my friends right out of high school, their jobs were working for Schwann's, driving Schwann's truck.
You know, those ice cream cups with the wooden spoons or the wooden sticks that you would eat with, the wooden stick weirdly makes it taste better, in my opinion. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's so good.
No. And
it's good.
No. Give me
extra
a
flavor.
Dixie cup and then dump it in like a orange pop and get yourself a poor man's float.
Ice cream flavored splinters. I love it.
Maybe we should go to break as we wait for Farhan. He's in Boston, and we know that he could be in and out of service. Well, before we go to break, 10 o'clock tonight, it's the deadline for the Saskatchewan Roughrider Foundation 50-50. Riders5050.ca is where you go. The early bird prize, because you're going to buy 50-50 anyway, get in on the early bird prize, which is a London escape for 2. London, England, flights from Saskatchewan, 7 nights at a 3-star hotel, a Hotel London tour, London by night bus tour, Stonehenge, is it Henge or Hedge? Kensington Place tour. Or you can take $9,000.
I feel like you were corrected on this like yesterday, and I don't remember what the correction was.
I didn't say it. It's all good. I'm a good student. Riders5050.ca before 10 p.m. this evening. We'll go to break. Hopefully we'll be joined by Farhan on the other side. It's a Sports Cage on 620 CKRM.
Rider Nation, don't miss a second. Hear every Saskatchewan Roughriders game live on sportscage.com or on our YouTube channel. Big plays, big hits, all season long. Powered by Reliance Heath Home Water Heater Rentals. The Roughriders season is here, and the biggest 50-50 in Saskatchewan is back. Last year's 50-50 raised over $3.3 million for amateur football in Saskatchewan, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Rider Nation. This year, we have bigger loyalty and early bird prizes than ever before, not to mention those life-changing 50-50 jackpots. See all of the prizes and buy your tickets today at riders5050.ca, and never miss a chance to win when you sign up for the 50-50 Club.
Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Lottery license LR260010.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. Don't just hang a door, install a Steelcraft. Turn curb appeal into curb envy.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Steel-craft.ca.
The world is changing. From the misuse of AI and the rise of deepfakes to the dangerous spread of misinformation, it's getting harder for Canadians to separate fact from fiction. That's why having a trustworthy news source is vital. At Global News, we're committed to objective journalism that cuts through the noise. Stick to the facts. Global News, Canada's trusted news.
The Sports Cage Clutch Performer for Keln Solar. Thinking about saving money by using solar power? Keln Solar is a local family company that can put solar panels on your home, business, or farm. KelnSolar.com.
Okay, bear with me here. I want to give some love on the Clutch Performer for Keln Solar today to the Junior Provincial Golf Championships, which wrapped up the Legends Golf Club up in Warman, Saskatchewan. On the junior women's overall, Grace Odnicon won. Chloe Wills from Kyle finished second. Grace Odnicon out of Saskatoon in the women 18-17. Chloe Wills was second there as well. Shout out Taylor Perry from Regina finishing third there. Junior women 14 and 13. Natalie Manula from North Battleford. Shout out Tropical Inn. Alexei Melstad from Wynyard was second. Junior women 16-15. Grace Odnicon, Tina Liu from Warman there. On the men's side, again, you got to bear with me because a lot of things moving around here. Men's side, first off, junior male black tees. Ryan Mosier, -14. Shea Manula of North Battleford, must be related to the lady. Dane Giesbrecht. Wyatt Nelson out of Prince Albert. That was an Austin Nesbitt from Pilot Butte, finished T7th on that one. Clutch performers on the junior men, 18-17. It was Mosier again picking up that. Juvenile men, 16 and 15. Manula out of North Battleford. Austin Nesbitt from Pilot Butte finishing second there. Junior men's, the 14-13 Bantam division. Keaton Krelkowicz from Melville. Solid, even par after 3 rounds, 216 gross. June Lee of Regina, shout out Juniper, +6, 222. June getting it done there. And then the young guys, the junior men, 12 or less. Hudson Diebert from Regina. Good job, Huddy. Finishing first. Cohen Bridge from Corman Park was second. So great. Up in Warman at the Legends. The junior golf wrapped up yesterday. Kellen Solar, they love their local sports there too. Family-run company, Lumsden, Saskatchewan. If you're thinking solar, Kellen Solar can hook you up, whether it's panels on the roof or for the livestock operation. Let's get her going with it. Farhan Lalji, we found him.
It's time to get the inside story. TSN's Farhan Lalji on Sportscage is brought to you by the Cooperators. Time to get financially fit? Cooperators can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Oh, you're right. Please say that's a duck boat, and you're going to go into the harbor at any time in Boston.
No, you know what? We're now in we were just at Dartmouth, so we did Harvard yesterday.
Internet issues.
Dartmouth is in. Internet issues?
Yeah, we're breaking.
So,
can we call you on the phone?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can we just call you though?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, let's just do phone. I'll kill some time here. Dartmouth. Oof. They're doing it. He's doing a twirl with his son. When we get him back, he can talk about it. All you parents out there, I think, I don't know if they're, it's a recruiting trip or they're just going to check out some of the schools in the area, but we checked out Harvard, and then we're checking out Dartmouth. Those are 2 schools. Anyone ever been to Boston? It is such an academic city. Like, you walk around that city, and it's like these little colleges for there's MIT and BC and BU and Northeastern and Harvard, and I know I'm missing a bunch. It's just a very smart area. Where's University of Massachusetts? UMass might be in there as well. Okay, he's for the Cooperators. Our weekly hit with TSN Football Insider. Farhan Lalji, we got him on the phone now. Okay, I was just kind of briefing people. You're in there with your son. You guys are touring. Give us the lowdown on that.
Yeah, so we were at Harvard yesterday. So we were in Boston, which is why you're expecting duck boats. And then today we were at Dartmouth. So we were driving through New Hampshire. And if you've never been to Dartmouth, it's in the middle of nowhere. They call it the woods because it literally is a campus and a little town in the woods. And so we were just going through there. And then now from here, we've got a 5-hour drive to New Jersey where we're going to Princeton for football camp tomorrow. So it's kind of what people do out here. You come and you get to the camp circuit with the Ivy League schools. It's gone well so far. So, I mean, no, I'm on the way. There's nothing else.
The phone is cutting out bad. We'll keep a trying here. Did you go to the World Cup game in Boston?
I did not. I watched it yesterday, actually, with the Harvard football staff. We watched the first half, and then we wound up driving to get some dinner after that. So I missed the second half of it, but I was at the World Cup game in Vancouver the night before we came out here to Boston. And it's an experience in a big city, like when the stadium is in a big city versus when the stadium is in the middle of nowhere, right? Like in Foxborough. I know Kansas City's done a really good job creating kind of a soccer city in Kansas City. They've got 4 different countries that are having their base camps in their location, right? So there's a lot of tourists there to begin with, but generally, it's an entirely different vibe in a place like Vancouver or Seattle or Toronto, where the stadium literally is downtown.
Yeah, I know Foxborough is out there closer to Providence than anything. Let's get into CFL here, Farhan. And I know you're down there, but Drew Brown starting for Winnipeg, it caught me off guard. What about you?
Honestly, it caught me more off guard that he wasn't dressed for the last game. It was 12 days after the trade. I mean, we saw Baker Mayfield 2 years ago play 2 days after a trade and lead his team to a win. And you're talking about Drew Brown, who's got familiarity in Tommy Condell's offense. So the fact that he wasn't dressed last week was probably more bizarre to me. This is a challenge you get when you lock yourself into a short yardage quarterback, right, where your next best quarterback doesn't always get to dress, right? So he didn't dress, and I think Taylor Oglersman was fine. They didn't ask him to do much. They just let Trey Ford lose the game. Happened, and Winnipeg managed to win, and now they've made the decision to go with Drew Brown, who's got some experience. Mike O'Shea values experience. So honestly, I'm not shocked that today happened or the current lineup happened. I'm more shocked at the fact they didn't have Drew Brown in the game ready to go a week ago.
I was talked to Suits in hour 1. That was your original slot. Thanks for moving, by the way. I can't get over this over-under of 60.5 tonight between the Argonauts and Bombers in Winnipeg, though. Talk me off the ledge, because I'm ready to hammer that under.
I'm with you. Take the under. Like Drew Brown hasn't shown, this will be his first game in this lineup. So, yes, he was in Winnipeg a few years ago, but that was a very different team. You've got Brady Oliveira there, and some pieces of the offensive line are there, but it's a different team, right? Like, Drew Brown hasn't shown me anything this year to make me believe that he's going to walk in there and do some things. Now, you got Chad Kelly, who's basically been a Pez dispenser this year, to quote my good friend Pierre Maguire when it comes to turnovers. So if he continues to do that, that might allow some real short fields for Winnipeg, or it might allow Winnipeg's defense to even score. And we've seen Winnipeg win the most bizarre games over the years, including last week when Zach Collaros has been injured, right? I mean, we've seen Chris Streveler win games that, you didn't think the Bombers had any business winning, and they would find enough out of their other 2 phases to get the win. So I certainly think the Bombers can win given all of this, but 60 points, man, I mean, there's going to have to be, like I said, a lot of turnovers on the part of Chad Kelly to get some short fields for Winnipeg to be able to do their part in a 60-point over-under.
I don't know if you watched it last night, but Jake Mayer had a rough one. It was one of those games, Farhan, and I know the stat line says he only threw 4 interceptions. I got to blame him on a couple. I think the routes could have been a lot better on at least one other ones. If you've ever been hung out to dry as a quarterback, you're like, come on, you need to run it a little better for me there. But it was one of those games where, it was 4 interceptions, but I watched most of it, and by the end of it, I was telling Curtis earlier, I felt like he threw 8 or 9 interceptions.
Yeah, it was a weird game, right? Because, I understand that their receiving corps has gotten better and they've got some good additional pieces, but why are you not getting Geno Lewis and Justin Hardy more touches, right? Like, the lack of targets those 2 got was bizarre to me, right, starting there. So now you're forcing the ball to a smaller number of receivers. And, the one thing with Jake Mayer is that Jake isn't good under pressure. Like, the problems he got in Calgary with interceptions came on medium pressure throws. So a throw I call medium pressure is if you got hit, it would have been rough. It wouldn't have been roughing the passer, it would have been roughing the passer, right? Like, high pressure throws that you're going to get hit, and that happens so bang bang, it's going to be a clean play, right? So that third interception he threw, Jake has a tendency to step away from those types of throws. He doesn't really get his hips turned around. He doesn't generate power into those throws. He's stepping away from them, and then they kind of float. And that's what happened on the third pick, right? And that is the classic Jake Maier interception. So, number one, get the ball to your better targets, right? The guys that are big-time players in this league. But secondly, this is kind of what you get, right? When you put Jake Maier in a position where he's got to win the game for you, it doesn't go as well. And Jake is kind of at the stage of his career where he's a bit of a game manager, right? He's not a deep ball threat. He's got to get the ball to places underneath. And when you take those throws away and force him to throw deep, then he has to hang on to the ball a little bit longer. And then it leads to those kind of medium pressure situations. And that's just not where he's good, right? So they got to get the run game involved. It's been non-existent all year, and he's got to get the ball out of his hands faster to some of his actual playmakers, because Ottawa, contrary to popular belief with their offense and their 0-4 record, they get some playmakers. They get to use them.
Yeah, and shout out to Heather, who texted in a little while ago exactly what he said. They got to get the running game going in Ottawa. So on the same page there. I'm wondering, is it a couple of weeks? Is it a week? Is it maybe a month down the road? When are you and I talking and I'm saying, well, it was bound to happen. Eugene Lewis is really frustrated with how things are going in Ottawa.
Oh, my guess is he's already frustrated, right? We just haven't talked about it yet, or he just hasn't been demonstrative. Ultimately, Gino Lewis is getting paid, and I think he's at the stage of his career where that's a big priority. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're a cancer in the locker room and then you get cut, although these guys, they're so front-loaded in their contracts, it wouldn't matter. And I'm not saying that Gino Lewis has been toxic or anything like that. Gino Lewis is a good guy, and he's generally a pretty good teammate. But, yeah, I mean, he's going to get frustrated because he's a deep ball target, and he doesn't have a deep ball quarterback. Now, they may go to McLeod Bethel-Thompson, right? I understand the problems that Ryan Dinwiddie had with Drew Brown, and it just wasn't a fit in the room. And Jake Maier is such a good teammate, and he's such a good human. You want him to have success. And if you are Ryan Dinwiddie and you feel that you were able to win a breakup with Nick Arbuckle at quarterback, certainly you believe you can do it with Jake Maier. And he's had, history with Jake Maier before. But ultimately, if you want to push the ball down the field, at some point, he's probably going to give McLeod Bethel-Thompson some run. It may not happen right away, but if Jake Maier and the offense continues to produce so little, what do you have to lose, right? I mean, Dinwiddie's a pretty proud guy. He's a pretty fiery guy, and he'll lose patience in anybody if you don't give them the production that he's used to having.
If you're in Scott Milanovich's position, do you start Jake Dolegala Sunday against the Riders, or would you have gone with maybe Trey Ford, who's had success?
I would be ready to play them both, right? Trey Ford, for me, has had more than enough opportunities to show that he's a starting quarterback in this league. And, we saw the worst of Trey Ford in that last game, and this team is built around Bo Levi Mitchell. So I don't think either one of them is the answer, but I think you need to be able to play them both. And I know people will say, well, that's not the right success. That's not the right formula to get a quarterback confident. Well, you know what? That quarterback's got to show me he can play. So this is professional football. This isn't high school football. So you got to show that you can play. And both these guys have had run in the Canadian Football League, right? So get them both ready. If Trey Ford's playing well, you've obviously got two entirely different offenses for these two quarterbacks. They have completely different skill sets. So Jake Dolegala maybe runs the Bo Levi Mitchell-ish smaller version of that type of offense. Trey Ford's got to run something entirely different. But Scott Milanovich is a brilliant coach, and he can find ways to do that. So, they're going to, any team that plays Hamilton is going to try to force Trey Ford to beat them throwing the football. They're going to come up with all sorts of pressure strategies, not to get to him, but to keep him in the pocket. Whereas with Jake Dolegala, you just want to try to get to him. So I think you've got to come up with two different looks and let both of them show you they deserve to play. Trey Ford starts and struggles, play Jake.
Yep.
Jake gets on a run. Sorry, Trey, it's the way it goes.
I totally agree. I asked Suits this in hour one. Full disclosure, I don't know enough about the Hamilton defense. I haven't watched them enough. I don't know enough. What I do know is when I run to the ticket window with that under for tonight's bet, I might hammer Harris passing yards over 300.5. What do you think on that one?
I think so. I think the defense in Hamilton is going to be put in very stressful situations in this game. And Trevor Harris is the man. I have no doubt that Trevor Harris can put up a big number. I'm certainly expecting a one-sided result. I know Suits is a big Trey Ford guy. Probably believes they can get something out of that, and maybe they can on a short-term basis. But Hamilton's defense, for me, coming into the year, and I'm a big Brent Monson guy. I think he's a really good coach. But I thought they had some concerns with their personnel in the pass rush and, even in the back end at times, right? And then they've got some injuries at linebacker. So for me, I think their defense was a real question mark going in. But, when you have Bo Levi Mitchell as quarterback, it takes a lot of pressure off of defense. Now there's going to be a lot of acute pressure on that team, that defense immediately. So I'd be worried, right? Brent Monson's going to have to do some things to keep scores down. And, Trevor Harris has seen every look known to man. I have no doubt that Trevor Harris can have a lot of success against that defense.
Okay, I want to close. I want to get your take, and I know you don't cover them. You're more of a Canucks guy. I want to get your take on the Leo Carlsson and the offer sheet and where that went, where you land on that, Farhan.
Yeah, look, I'm not surprised that Philly made it and that Danny Briere is trying to be aggressive. And I'm also not surprised that Anaheim matched, right? Because, overall, that's a team that's not pressed up against the cap. They've got some wiggle room. Do I think Leo Carlsson's worth that money? I don't. But, the cap is changing, and, what was salary cap hell with a certain contract isn't going to be in a couple of years. I think he's a good player, and I think he's still trending upward, and I think he's going to be just fine. I don't think they're going to look at that contract as an albatross. But, if you're Anaheim, you've really spent some time struggling and working through a rebuild, and you can't let those guys go, right? So, but I know with Rick Tocchet and Danny Briere, they were going to be aggressive this offseason, so not surprised they made it, but a little bit surprised that Anaheim matched, but not entirely.
All right. You travel safe. Sounds like you're having fun with the boy, making your way into Princeton, New Jersey, and we will catch up next week, my friend.
All right, buddy. Have a great show. Have a great weekend.
You too. Farhan Lalji, our TSN football insider, joining us on the program here. Yeah, so he likes Harris over 3 Hyundai. I think I do as well. And then tonight, Suits. I should text him. Be like, I'm back on the under tonight. Hard. Running to the co-op right after we're off the air here. We'll get to some of the text messages. Lots of knowledgeable fans coming at us here. Shout out to Heather. Hey, Bulls fan, I tell you what, you call in, you can come on. He says he wants to request a new segment, Florida Man's Fridays. I call in and rant about stuff in sports. 936-6262. What's the toll-free number? Yeah, he's from Florida. He can pay the long distance. Don't give him the toll-free number. You don't pay state tax.
I don't know it off the dome. You can Google it, though.
1-866-767-0620. I talked about this on Tuesday, how the Sportscage, it's more of a text-in kind of crowd, which is okay. I love it. Rose is buzzing on the chat line today. Chapman's anything, butter tart especially. I think she's going back to the ice cream thing, where we found out that Dixie Cups and Roscoe was our neighborhood milkman. Roscoe, here's a story for you quickly. I used to do papers at like 6 a.m. when he's crazy time in Saskatoon. Probably not an area you'd want to be doing papers at 6 a.m, but whatever. My Vietnamese friend and I, who's now a professional chef, we had 2 routes. And one of them was on the sketchy shoot. Yeah. The milkman was always delivering milk in the morning. And there was a couple times I still to this day remember that he said, "Hey, would you like anything?" And I was like, "I would like a chocolate milk." So he's like, "Here's a Vico." And it was like so cold and so good. And it just was chocolate milk, which you've always had chocolate milk. But it was just something that some milkman at 6 a.m. Looking back now, that seems really weird. My parents, hey, maybe don't take that stuff from the milkman at 6 a.m. and you're in grade 8, walking around the streets. But the milkman, again, take me back, time machine. I want to go back. Just recently framed a roof on a building from Brandon in Bladworth, home of Corey Sarch. Nothing test your work like an F5 tornado. Ooh. So is it bad? Because, yeah, if people are just tuning in, South Central, this was about the top of the hour, so I don't know, 30 minutes ago, heads up in the sky in that Dundurn, Blackstrap Lake, Elbow, Hanley area. Conditions are favorable for the development of a tornado. I just made that up, but it's something along that line.
Oh, meteorologist Barney.
All right, we're going to come back with more weather in my deep voice. No, we'll go to break here. We'll come back with some audio from the Riders Sports Cage on this Friday. Craven's here. Riders play on Sunday. Having a good time. Thanks for tuning in. Streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
The year-end Progressive Baseball Sale is happening now at Extreme Hockey. Save 10% on your first item, 15% on your second, 20% on your third, and 25% on your fourth item and every item after that. Score big savings on bats, gloves, helmets, training gear, and more from trusted brands like Rawlings, Easton, Wilson, Under Armour, and Marucci. Whether you're gearing up for the playoffs or planning ahead for winter training, now's the time to stock up and save. Don't miss out on the savings. Visit Extreme Hockey today and take advantage of these great deals while they last.
The Roughriders season is here and the biggest 50-50 in Saskatchewan is back. Last year's 50-50 raised over $3.3 million for amateur football in Saskatchewan, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Rider Nation. This year, we have bigger loyalty and early bird prizes than ever before, not to mention those life-changing 50-50 jackpots. See all of the prizes and buy your tickets today at riders5050.ca, and never miss a chance to win when you sign up for the 50-50 Club.
Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Lottery license LR260010.
Back to our regular spot, Pump Jacks Cathedral.
You know, I thought Pump Jacks was a kind of boot polish till last month.
What are you getting?
Kerwin's crispy ribs and a cold pint of local craft. Crispy, meaty, beautiful.
You had me at meaty.
Plus, we got live music on the weekends, big screens. This place is basically my second marriage.
And way cheaper than the first.
On the corner of Albert and 13th, Pump Jack's Cathedral Saloon and Steakhouse. Come early, stay late. The place where friends meet.
Hey, Regina. Ready? The monsters are coming. Monsters in Mayhem crashes into Kings Park Speedway this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Finally, Regina, an outdoor, no-holds-barred crushing showdown featuring high-flying, car-crushing monster trucks, wild mini monsters, and gravity-defying freestyle motocross. Now listen up. Tickets on sale now at outlawsofmotorsports.ca and at the gate while supplies last. This is Sports Cage. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. 620 CKRM.
Hot enough for you? Yeah, scorcher out there. Are you going out to the valley? Are you in the valley? Are you coming in for the Rider game this weekend? Maybe taking in a little of the festival. A little Creed tomorrow night. And then the Rider game on Sunday. It's going to be hot. In those seats, that's like, it's auto back sweat.
It's a good weekend to be in Saskatchewan, though. Lots going on.
You see the crops around? Knock on wood with this weather. The crops that are coming up around, oh, do they look juicy in the areas that I've seen. And I'm a farmer from way back. I know three things.
I don't know if
farming, soccer, and the Blue Jays.
I'm a farmer from way back. When have you ever said that? Maybe I just don't listen, but
I've said it on the show. I would love to drive a combine for 25 minutes.
Wanting to and having driven a combine are two different things.
Well, I didn't grow up on a farm. I just talked about doing papers on 20th Street in Saskatoon.
And that was
that was my get up.
And bring back the milkman.
Bring back Roscoe. Roscoe and the Milkman. Sounds like a band. Sounds like a band that would play the beer gardens at Country Thunder. Roscoe and the Milkman. When is harvest? I don't know, Jeffrey. Coming up. Really good dad joke on the Prairie Land Rentals text line because Farhan said he's traveling from Dartmouth to Princeton with his son. And it was Jeff that kind of had a dad joke. He said, Ed, I got a dart in the mouth once. Ha, ha, ha. Ed saying how many points did he get for that? 3 stitches. What about the call? Did Bulls fan call in? I know it's hard for you to see in the studio if we have a caller or not.
Yeah, it's a challenge. I didn't see the line light up, no. So I was even looking too. As soon as you prompted it, I was like, someone might actually call in.
And we've got people. We've got 3 people that agree that the white freezy bottom of the.
We're saving this for a sidebar. Where do you land Wednesday?
Vico came from Melville. You could look that up, Curtis. Vico. That's like the origin? Oh, here we go. Vico was a brand of chocolate milk manufactured by the company Dairy Producers. When Dairy Producers were bought out by Dairyland in 1995, the Vico line was abolished. Why didn't we riot? It was 95. I would have rioted. It was available in Saskatchewan, Canada, a few parts of Manitoba, New Brunswick, and Quebec. Not going to hack up some name in Quebec. Still uses the name Vico for one of their chocolate milk products. Where does this? It doesn't say anything about. It doesn't say anything about Melville. Not that I'm calling you a liar. An alcoholic beverage with a variation of the White Russian was made with vodka, ice, and Vico, known as the Psycho Vico. Yee, Texas tea.
You're getting good at Google, by the way.
Here we come.
Look at you go.
It's not the Google. It's how I type and then have to look everything here, my friend.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
I grew up in Saskatoon. Text line. You got to leave your name. Remember the milkman from Palm Dairy handing out ice cubes to all the kids on a hot summer day? Ice cubes? That's a ripoff. The guy's got ice cream in that truck. What are you doing handing me ice cream, man? I also remember the Hostess chip delivery driver. Hostess chips. Oh, yeah. Would toss a bag of chips out the back of his truck to the kids near Esty School Park. I don't know where that is. And who didn't get their water from a garden hose. Yeah, garden hose water was good times.
Garden hose water is still good times.
Saskatoon water is amazing, though. So out of a garden, I still go home, want to hook up a hose in the backyard of my mom's and slug back a bunch of water. Vodka, garden hose water, splash a lime.
Ooh. The garden hose has like a slight hint of copper when you kind of like drink from it, but it's good. It's good. I like it. Maybe that's rust. I don't know. It's been a while since I drank from the garden hose.
Dairy Queen started in Melville in 1953. Thanks, Doris. This is an educational program. Great text message.
Is it? I feel like it's just like a lot of questions.
Andrew, who doesn't remember beep?
Sometimes we answer
Curtis probably has no idea what beep is.
I don't have an idea of a lot of things, but I learned too. It's educational for me too. You know, when I first started producing the show here, operating it, as Barney would say, I didn't know anything about the Rankin family, didn't know anything about Super Channel, didn't know anything about...
You still haven't finished UHF though, man.
The hatred of white freezies. I learn something new every day.
You haven't finished watching UHF though. You have no idea who Sally Weaver is on the Wheel of Fish.
I do know who Stanley Spadowski and his funhouse.
Yeah.
So
Scotty Scheffler missed the cut at the Scottish Open. Yeah, I saw that earlier. He's made 78 straight cuts over the last 4 years. Where are they going? They're going to Royal Liverpool. They're going to a course that I want to play next week. We'll be talking about the Open on this program next week. It's my favorite major of the year. I love Scottish and golf over in England. Bell's Dairy, Melville. There's a lot of... You got to give us more than that. I don't know what that means. I'm not saying that Vico didn't originate in Melville. I want to know more. Georgie Porgy, where have you been, by the way? I'm going to have like a big party at the rodeo, and I don't know. The old Cadillac school cooler with Vico and Beep orange juice in the small cardboard single-serve containers. Yeah. Luke, where have you been, Luke? You don't know good hose water until... What a start to a sentence. You don't know good hose water until you try it in Kenora. Also, P.S. Barney, getting some Roxette ready for the Pats season. I love it. Right on Dangerous. See? Love the texters. Absolutely love. Okay, I told you we're going to get Rado audio. We get the Freezy talk and Vico talk and all that.
Don't want Barney being a
Back in the day.
liar now, do we?
The old Barney, the old farmer. Is that the guy that used to farm out by Prudhomme?
Wishes he was a farmer. Wishes he was
Josh
a farmer.
Woods. Let's hear from Josh Woods. Josh Woods, the front office, says you have increased your intensity.
I mean, surprising, I guess I'd say, but I mean, it's kind of easy when you come into a defense like this. It already has identity, already has the leadership, and I'm just fitting in, honestly.
The guy's good. You like right from jump, as they say. I've been impressed with Josh Woods. I'm sure a lot of you have been impressed by him. Josh Woods says, does he feel like he has something to prove?
I mean, I feel like that every year, honestly. That's the turnover and coming off of injuries and, being released this offseason. I do feel like I had a chip on my shoulder coming to this year. But it was more so proving to the team that I belong and that I can fit into this culture.
Keep her going here. Josh Woods was asked how comfortable has he gotten with this defensive scheme.
Oh, yeah, I think we're getting better every week. I mean, as far as that was our fourth game and our fourth boundary half starting. So, getting familiar to the boundary. Of course, I know Marcus Sale is playing with BC. But I think every week just gets better communication, understanding how people are going to play things, where they're going to be at. First week to this week, big difference. And like I said, it's really only been in defense for 2 months. So I'm excited to see how far we can take this thing.
Josh, we need you in that defense to keep Hamilton and on the underside on Sunday. That's right. I think I know we're a little bit banged up on the defensive side of the ball. And Curtis, we ran through it a little bit earlier, but people that didn't listen in hour one, if you want to pop it up,
I got the list.
We have the actives and non-actives who's out for the game on Sunday. Thomas Bertrand, who Don Witcher kind of figured is out. Darius Bell is out. Tavon Campbell's available. Jaden Dahlke is available. DeGente Dillon is out. Jalen Johnson is out. Nelson Lacombo out. Marion Benoit is out. Roland Milligan Jr. is out. AJ Ouellette's available. And Matthew Sexton available. And Ryder Varga is out still with the knee getting back at her.
You hit the Marion Benoit. Not Benoit Marion.
Did I say Marion Benoit?
He sure did.
It's a tricky one.
Not to be confused.
Yes. Just give him a nickname. Benny. Okay, Josh Woods again, though. He's the only one with a turnover. What does he think about that?
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully after this week, it's a lot more than just me.
Yeah. And making a lot about the turnovers today. I think it's going to come.
Yeah. Well, when we talked with the defensive coordinator Joshua Bell on the program, that was one of the one things that he said when he was on here. He's like, but man, that should have been a pick. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, it's that Rider defense has been getting like so many interceptions over like the last couple seasons. So it is kind of weird to not see them get as many picks this year.
I'll give you last season. Yeah. And it's still going to, Joshua Bell could be the best interview in the league, though.
Oh, yeah. I love Joshua Bell. He still wants to come back, remember?
Allegedly. I told him. I saw him outside the stadium. I said, you said you want to come co-host. I'm going to hold you to that. He said, oh, yeah. I want to ask all the tough questions.
That was pretty good. That was a good mannerism right there. Oh, yeah.
Let's go with Josh Bell. Can you go to Mace here, Curtis, Corey Mace, about Mace 3, about Vaughters, who's been a favorite around here, and Luke's talked about him a lot. Here's Corey Mace tells us about James Vaughters.
No, I mean, I've been around James for a long time. We spent a few years together at the beginning of his career, so there was a reason I think that he was here, and I hope the feeling was mutual of why he wanted to be here, just familiar faces, but physical presence, even though he's a defensive end, some situations if we got to kick him down inside, he can get that job done. We use him sometimes as a linebacker off the ball. He can get that job done. And he can mix up his pass rush a little bit with physicality and hands and feet finesse kind of stuff. So very cerebral player from a defensive line spot, which, not a lot of people talk about that either, but he's one of them.
If you're watching the stream, Coach Mace, another standout rope hat. That's a fantastic lid. That slaps, as you guys say, Curtis. Love the lid. Coach Mace again here. He's talking about, does the quarterback situation in Hamilton change anything this week?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's whatever they're hanging their hat on going into this week. That's the main focus that's going to be important to them. Regardless, that's a professional football team coming in to play a professional football team. So we have nothing but the utmost respect for our opponents. It's not like it's a quarterback that we've never seen. Both guys have had tape in this league and have done some really nice things. So it's another test for us.
How did you know there was going to be a comment about hats? You're just like in tune. Wow.
Oh, Dustin in Calgary. I don't think he's texted in a while. Or Dustin, sorry, I don't remember you. I'll get this one, the Prairie Land Rentals text line. Nothing better on a hot summer day, standing on the front lawn with shirt off, showing the dad bod, drinking out of a garden hose, and rocking the Birkenstock tan line.
I love your vibe.
He's
I love your vibe, Dustin.
Everything from today. What kind of, maybe a freezy? Maybe having a freezy there as well, Dustin. Okay, we got to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to have another tease from my Behind the Mask feature with Marcus Sales coming up this weekend. So stay tuned for that. It is a Sports Cage on this Friday. Getting ready for Country Thunder, getting ready for the Rider game on 620 CKRM.
This is Country Gold with Steve Harmon. Your home for the country hits of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Hello, I'm Steve Harmon, inviting you to join me for Country Gold. Each week we play country favorites from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and we check in with the stars who made them, too. This weekend on Country Gold.
Country Gold, brought to you by Trent Dickin and his experienced team at Flooring Superstore. Saturday mornings at 6 and Sunday afternoons at 4 on the Voice of Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
Where was I when I won the lottery?
I was in the delivery room.
I was watching TV.
I was riding a horse.
Hiking in the backcountry.
On the job site.
In a playhouse.
I was on a tractor.
Stars Lottery. When lives are saved, we all win. Your ticket supports critical care anywhere. It's the last day to win the 2026 GMC Yukon Denali bonus prize or $100,000 cash. Get yours today at starslottery.ca. License LR260008. Saskatchewan only. 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
I have so much to do before we go camping.
Can I help?
Yes, fill up the tank, get a car wash, and get some snacks for the road.
No problem.
Really?
All I gotta do is go to Sherwood Co-op gas bars. I'll fill up, get a touchless car wash, and buy snacks from the C-store. Boom. One trip and done.
Give me the keys. You take my list, I'm going to Sherwood Co-op.
Wait, what?
Sherwood Co-op gas bars.
We are members.
We are owners.
We are Sherwood Co-op.
Pile of Bones Rodeo rides into the Brand Center July 17th and 18th with its professional rodeo tourist stop. Real District, in partnership with Canadian Western Agribition and Original 16, presents 2 nights of heart-pounding professional rodeo action. Proudly presented by 620 CKRM. Watch top competitors take on elite stock from C5 Rodeo in all your favorite CPRA-sanctioned events, including bull riding, barrel racing, saddle bronc riding, bareback riding, and team roping. Both performances start at 7 p.m. Don't miss the speed, skill, and grit of the Pile of Bones Rodeo. Tickets at Ticketmaster.ca. Dirt will fly.
The Roughriders season is here and the biggest 50-50 in Saskatchewan is back. Last year's 50-50 raised over $3.3 million for amateur football in Saskatchewan, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Rider Nation. This year, we have bigger loyalty and early bird prizes than ever before, not to mention those life-changing 50-50 jackpots. See all of the prizes and buy your tickets today at riders5050.ca, and never miss a chance to win when you sign up for the 50-50 Club.
Riders 50-50 is presented by ISC.
Lottery license LR260010.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sport, 1425 McIntyre Street, the Cooperator Center, Moose Jaw Temple Garden Center, and online at extremehockey.net.
Soccer today, World Cup. Spain advances. win over Belgium. CFL tonight continues. Battle of 2-2 teams. Toronto at Winnipeg. Someone text in. Talk me off the ledge here. Why is the 60.5 the over-under? This has to be an under. Drew Brown starting. Sorry, Drew, but Argos are a 2-point favorite. Western Canadian Baseball League. Regina's in Medicine Hat. Swift home to Saskatoon. Weyburn welcomes Okotoks. Blue Jays start a series in San Diego tonight against the Padres. Sports ticker is for Extreme Hockey and Sport. Get this little nugget of information. If you got a baseball player, if you're thinking about taking up the game, save 10% on your first item, 15% on your second item, 20% on your third item. You need 4 items or more, 25% off. We're talking bats, gloves, helmets, training gear, and more. I know it says baseball, but if you're a slow pitch guy, I'm sure you're welcome there as well. What deals at Extreme Hockey and Sport, McIntyre Street in Regina? The Cooperator Center, the Pro Shop's back open now. I don't know if they have a lot of baseball stuff there. And Moose Jaw Temple Garden Center, although that is closed for the month of July. They're local. They support local under new management, Extreme Hockey and Sport. Okay, Marcus Sales. Got to talk with him this week for our Behind the Face Mask edition. And here is tease number 2 on that. What's his game day routine for home games?
Yeah, I mean, I probably get up maybe around like 7. I got my little girl now, so I pretty much got to make sure she's situated first. So we'll probably go out to OEB with my wife and whatnot. We'll probably get a little bit of food and pretty much just kick it, unwind. I'll probably watch a little bit of film before I come up here a couple hours before the game. We get into the hot tubs. I do my stretch routine, things like that, and then it's pretty much pregame warm-up.
What music do you listen to pregame?
I'm a Rod Wave fan, so any Rod Wave you play me, I know every single word.
I have no idea who Rod Wave is. Never heard of him. Do you listen to Rod Wave?
No, I don't. We always learn something new on the program, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you learn something new.
How about this from Sid in Lumsden on the Prairie Land Rentals text line? Hey, guys, I hate false info. The very first DQ in Canada was in Estevan.
Whoa.
There is a plaque in the restaurant showing the accomplishment. Original store was replaced, so the location in Ontario holds the record for longest at the same building. There we go, Sid, giving us the knowledge. I love that. Freezy talk. See, we got some defenders of the White Freezies. I think not having Milligan on defense has been hurting us the last couple of games. White cream soda freeze is a banger also. Root beer, get out of here.
You're not a big root beer fan?
No, I love it. I love root beer, especially when I eat taco time.
Oh.
Other than that, you know what I can't drink? Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper can take a seat.
Dr. Pepper rips.
No. More Vico. I know a lot of you are texting in about Vico and Beep, and we'll get to that if we can. And Hour 3 is jam-packed. Hour 3, we got Luke Mullender. We have Lotto Lawrence talking gambling sprinkle of the day, and former U of R Cougar hockey player, WHLer Zach McPhee, who is playing the main stage at Country Thunder. He's now a country music artist. He's in Hour 3. It's all coming up after the news.
Proudly broadcasting from Treaty 4 territory, the homeland of the Dakota, Nakota, Lakota, Saulteaux, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. We are 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
News is brought to you by Echo Sound in Fort Capel. Stay connected with a new cell phone from Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer. Call 306-332-6711.
The news is brought to you by Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of Saskatchewan's biggest selection of Ram trucks and Jeeps. CrestviewChrysler.ca.
It's 5 o'clock. Good evening, mostly sunny and 30 degrees in Regina. I'm Denis Conroy from the SAS Today Newsroom with 620 CKRM News. Environment and Climate Change Canada is warning of extreme heat that started today and will be lasting for several days. Temperatures will climb above 32 degrees, with Saturday and Sunday expected to feel especially hot and humid. Humidex values could reach as high as 45. Nights will offer little relief, with lows staying above 16 degrees. People are reminded to watch for heat exhaustion symptoms like dizziness, nausea, and fatigue. Anyone showing signs of heat stroke should receive immediate medical help. Nearly $750 million worth of Saskatchewan farmland is now up for sale as part of the Monette Farm restructuring. The court-approved process includes roughly 132,000 acres and 18 listings, with properties spread across the province. The listings are part of a broader effort to address about $920 million owed to secured lenders. When farmland in Montana, Colorado, and Arizona is included, the total asking value climbs to approximately $968 million Canadian. A lawsuit has been filed against the University of Regina over its women's basketball head coaching position. Jordan Webb claims the university offered him a 3-year contract before reversing course and naming interim coach Michaela Kleisinger to the job. Webb is seeking damages, claiming the agreement was ended improperly. The University of Regina says it is aware of the legal action but will not comment while the case is before the courts. Currently, none of the allegations have been proven so far. Regina's first punk rock flea market is set to showcase the city's independent creative community this weekend. The all-ages event runs Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Regina Senior Citizens Center, featuring more than 40 local artists, makers, musicians, and community groups. Organizers say the market celebrates creativity, inclusion, and do-it-yourself culture while giving independent creators a chance to connect with the public. Admission is pay what you can, with donations supporting local community initiatives. If you're heading to Country Thunder, Saskatchewan today, patience could save you both time and money. CKRM's Colin Lovequist says traffic is flowing into the festival grounds, but construction, speed zones, and police enforcement are all in place along the route.
On the way into the grounds, ran into some highway marshals, 2 ghost cars, 2 ghost trucks, and there's definitely some money pits out there with the construction.
Drivers are also reminded to obey posted signs and come to a complete stop at intersections to avoid costly tickets. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620ckrm.com. Weather is next.
Now this is technology. Betamax, landline, 3 channels of my TV.
You're so behind, I don't know if I should laugh or cry. You desperately need to go to Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer.
Sounds futuristic.
It is. Max Stream TV, SaskTel Internet, and the latest cell phones.
Stream TV?
No schedule or waiting.
Internet?
High speed?
No phone cord.
No cord. Boy, your mind's gonna be blown.
Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Capel. EchoSound.ca.
And now your summer savings report for Crestview Chrysler in Regina. Current conditions include no-charge diesels on select Ram trucks, kicking off a powerful month of savings here in Regina, and adventure seekers can get into a brand new Jeep Cherokee with payments starting at just $279 bi-weekly plus tax. Forecast models are calling for heavy discounts, low finance rates, and serious trade values, all expected to continue throughout the entire month. This has been your summer savings report for Crestview Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Regina.
Weather for Next Gen Coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street, Regina. And Kevin's Marine. Make the most of summer with a boat or pontoon from Kevin's Marine in Fort Capel. kevinsmarine.com.
We're lining up for some hot weather as we step into the weekend. A heat warning is in effect, and high pressure will keep things bright, dry, and hot right through the weekend. We'll start to see a gradual step down in temperatures as we head into early next week. Our forecast details. Again, a heat warning is in effect. Mainly clear tonight with a low near 17. Southeast winds at 15 to 25. Chance of precipitation 0. Mostly sunny tomorrow. Hot with a high of 33. South to southeast winds at 15 to 25. The humidex will be as high as 36. Chance of precipitation 0. Clear Saturday night. Lows near 18. Westerly winds at 10 to 20. Chance of precipitation 0. Mostly sunny on Sunday with a high of 34. Southeast winds at 15 to 25. Humidex at 39 on Sunday afternoon. Mostly sunny Monday, still warm, 28. And mostly sunny skies Tuesday with a high near 26 degrees. With your 620 CKRM Precision Weather Forecast, I'm meteorologist Russ Murley.
For over 40 years, you've known them as Regina's trusted vehicle protection specialists. Now they're introducing the next gen of coatings. New name, new level of protection. They're now Next Gen Coatings. 3 generations of their family have served your family, and that hasn't changed. Same owners, same commitment, ready for the next gen of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards. The company hasn't changed, just the name. Next Gen Coatings, 1865 McCarra Street. The next gen starts now.
This is the year to own the boat of your dreams. At Kevin's Marine, discover legendary Lund boats, built for a lifetime of serious fishing and family fun. Stretch out and relax, or enjoy the day with family on a brand new pontoon from Bentley or Crest, or make a splash in a 4-wind sport boat, all powered by trusted Mercury 4-stroke motors. Right now, get manufacturer rebates, dealer discounts, and low payment financing. Make decking easy with Shoremaster aluminum docks and lifts. Visit Kevin's Marine in Fort Capel or kevinsmarine.com.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
All right, hour 3, last hour of the program. Heading out to Country Thunder. We just heard Colin Lovequist say there's ghost cars. Whoa. I love ghost cars. They got to come out with ghost cars, though, like a Buick Lucerne, like a Sunfire. They're always all souped up. Now, I went by one the other day. I'm like, wow, that is a nice SUV. Oh, wait a minute, that's cops. But hey, they got to stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't be stupid. All that with the shuttles, and now with the Uber. I'm sure if you know a taxi guy, he'll come out and whip out there and get you. Be smart with it all. Prairieland Rentals text line's been a buzzsaw today. And it's all stemming from Vico and Freezies and Dixie cups and the stupid spoons that they gave you that you tried to eat. Tried to eat ice cream with.
They're fantastic. They taste amazing.
If you're watching on the YouTube feed, you see how excited Curtis is about the
I love
wooden
ice cream,
spoons.
baby.
Yeah, you're weird, man. You're weird. Prairieland Rentals, by the way, 600 Albert Street. You walk in there, you're dealing with the owner. Anything you need rental-wise, if you got a project on the go, from a skid steer to a power tool, they can get you. And then also the Husqvarna dealer in the city. We're talking warranty. We're talking robot. They got robots that cut your lawn with the robotic lawnmowers, and there's discounts on right now. Anything Husqvarna, 600 Albert Street, Prairieland Rentals. Kevin's saying pre-Craven pints and wings. Oh, I thought you were inviting her. That was a question. I see it.
It's a statement.
I see it. Kevin's buzzing, getting ready for a little Riley Green. You a big Riley Green guy, Kevin? Ken just texting in saying Craven memories, old school here. 144 day. What a way to save day at Woco. On way home, mom, pa stop, Craven Motor Inn, Brown's Cafe, Strawberry Shortcake ice cream bar. He's just going off here. White Freezies suck, he's saying. The white Freezies,
they're not bad.
We've had 1 or 2 people saying they like the white Freezies. Everyone else is on board.
You know what? I don't think there's a Freezy flavor that I dislike personally. Like, there's obviously ones that you prefer, but none of them suck, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion.
In my day, we used to go to the store. There was 5-cent Freezies, 10-cent Freezies, and then if you were a baller, like if your parents had a microwave and cable and super channel, you could get a 25-cent Jumbo Freezy, my friend.
Oh, inflation. I only remember 50-cent Jumbo Freezies.
And how come nobody's jumped in on the snack and a half? Who doesn't remember the snack and a half ice cream sandwich thing that we were allowed to buy in the 80s?
I don't remember, Barney.
Well, no, you weren't alive. So go with your Birkenstock tan and just look up what a snack and a half was. Riders ins and outs this weekend. If you missed it, didn't catch it in hour 1, Thomas Bertrand-Houdon's out. Darius Bella's out. Tavon Campbell, that's close. He's available. Jaden Dahlke is available. DeGente's out. Jalen Johnson's out. Lacombo is out. Benoit Marion is out.
Good job.
Roland Milligan Jr. is out. AJ Ouellette, he's going to be back there running with that beard in the 40-degree Humidex. That's going to feel great. He's available. Matthew Sexton is available. And Ryder Varga, Sasky, he's out. He's still working that knee out. So I expect after the bye week that he'll be back. Jake Dolagala is starting. All 6'7" of Jake Dolan. Are there going to be kids chirping him, heckling him on the sideline with the 6'7" thing? Or you're not going to put all that together?
Probably not. I'm not.
No, I'm giving them some ammo. I'm giving them some ammo right now. I think we're going to see Trey Ford, though, and those little legs of fury running around. I still don't think they're scoring much. I'm hammering. Like, to the credit union, ATM hard. Hammering the under. Hammering the under tonight, hammering the under on Sunday. You heard it here first. That's what I'm doing.
Did you figure out what you're going to do with the Winnipeg game yet?
Taking the under. I just said that. Winnipeg-Toronto tonight. Like, there's no way they're scoring 60 points. Drew Brown.
So you're not taking Suits' advice.
Text in Tuesday and chirp me hard if I get that wrong. All of our guests, of course, always join us on the Western Pizza guest hotline. I had lunch with Spiro today. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, all the Greek favorites you just can't get at home and make at home. You got the souvlaki. Don't sleep on the lasagna, ribs, salad. You visit your local Western Pizza. Luke Mullender's just trying to log in right now on the Western Pizza guest hotline. You can hear the team starting at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Kickoff is 5:30. Roscoe, the milkman. By the way, Roscoe, if you're ever here tailgating, I'm sure you got milkman stories. The old wives' tale, you get what I mean? We're going to have to get together for a pint. Roscoe remembers the snack and a half, and Andrew up in Stoon in Saskatoon remembers the 25-cent jumbo freezies. Clark in Conquest remembers the 25-cent freezies. James in Swift Current hates the white freezies. It's freezy talk. It's freezy season right now. Okay, there he is. He's logging on. Let's talk to Luke Mullender. Okay, here we go. Teed it up. We like to get him right before game day. Luke Mullender, our football analyst on the broadcast crew. I talked to Sharky yesterday. This is a good time to have a pool.
Yeah, it's awesome. However, you also, I will say, this is a first world problem. You also need shade, right? Okay. Yep. And like I'm starting to become the guy who's like, oh man, it's awesome. We got a pool on. Oh man, we don't have enough shade. You know, so yeah, there's a balance.
Then, or are you buying lots of umbrellas?
There's you know what? I'm actually cut. One of them's dying, so we're gonna get rid of one of them. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of one of them, and then I'm gonna put some more shade up. So, because you get the fellas coming over too, right? And they're all big dudes, and all the first thing they do is complain. They don't get in the water. They complain about the lack of shade, So,
Yeah, no, and I said to Sharky, I said, I don't know, Sportscage fans, what's the bet? What would be the line? Do I get invited to Sharky's pool first or Luke's pool?
I told you.
I think it was overwhelming that Sharky's, because you probably private, gated community, probably need a code and all that to get into yours.
Oh yeah. You're not getting into mine just easily. You're not just walking in. This is not Massey Pool. You're not just walking through the gate over here. But you got an open invite, man. I've told you before. Come do an episode here. Okay. You're gonna have to put up with the dog, but my son, he'll help you out. He'll be bringing you drinks and stuff. So we're good hosts.
I love it. I love it. Speaking of weather, let's go there then. It's supposed to be like, mid 30 something with the Humidex, high 30 down in that bowl. As a guy that's played, Luke, will weather be a factor with the heat like that? Where will it be a factor? Cramps?
I mean, yeah, you're going to see the wide receivers and DBs. They're so soft. They're going to cramp up, right? But the problem is for the big fellas. Your old linemen. The strength of the team, the strength of your offense, the offensive line, you got to take care of those guys. Those guys need cold towels. Those guys need fans, because the big guys, they don't do well in the heat. They'll play all day in the cold. Yeah. We'll play all day in the cold in the trenches. But when it's 30, 35, you got to, again, I've told you guys how glorious one of those ice towels is when you put it on and it's hooded up. There's no better feeling. And but you need those at the ready. Those need to be ready, and they need to be accessible. And it's also one of those deals where if you see the Hoggies coming after a drive, like, get off the bench. You know what I mean? They're going straight to the bench. They don't, they don't want the guys.
Yeah.
They need their room. You give them their room because, hey, it's those 35-degree games. It's not easy on the big boys.
Yeah. Okay. Jake Dolegala surprised me. I still think we're going to see a lot of Trey Ford. What do you think when Hamilton comes out with that name as their starter?
Yeah, it didn't surprise me at all. Hamilton wants to throw the ball. They want to get the ball downfield. They got guys like Kenny Lawler. They got that one of the best Canadian receivers. His name escapes me right now, but like they don't want to they don't want to rely on the RPO the whole game. And that's no disrespect to Trey Ford. I don't mean it like that. But again, he limits you in terms of what you can do. I think that Jake Dolegala is the exact guy that they want. But he's also a guy that I think if you mix up the coverages in front of him, if you show him one thing, do another thing, I think that he'll turn the ball over. So, but I think Scott Milanovich would take that risk rather than change the whole offensive scheme because your quarterback isn't a pocket guy. So, didn't surprise me at all.
But there's got to be some packages, though, Luke, right, where they're ready to put in Trey just with the success he's had against the Riders and the different look he gives.
I mean, we always say that when we get an athletic quarterback, what's the package going to be? What's it like? Listen, Montreal, when we were playing Montreal in the early 2000s, 2010s, they had one of the best athletes in AJ McPherson, right? And right behind Anthony Calvillo. And, they had Adrian McPherson packages. You don't roll those out, though, right? Like, I think that there's going to be a change of pace required at some point. Trey will probably get in there because he's super athletic. I mean, he's a great athlete. It's just, I think that Hamilton, they want to get downfield with the football. And they're going to need to, especially if they get behind, right? If they get behind to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, that's going to increase their need to get downfield with the football, and you're not going to get downfield. And again, if I'm Saskatchewan's defense, it's not like you're going to be surprised with Trey Ford's skill set, right? Hey, look, if he does get outside the pocket, just make sure you're aware where the receivers are. They're going to adjust. They're going to try to flow to him. Don't let anybody behind you because he can get that ball at all sorts of weird angles. He can get it out and down the field, right? Like, you just got to understand what you're dealing with.
Speaking of packages, Tommy Stevens, we see it in Ottawa. Now, we've seen it in bits and pieces. But, Luke, I'm watching that, and I'm like, I think this is something they've been practicing. They've wanted to use it. Now they got some live reps with it. Now let's maybe shelf it for when we need it down the road. Like I don't think that's something we might see often. It was nice to see. They got live reps at it. Now we can kind of put it away. That's just maybe how I felt with it.
Yeah, no, I think every team knows that there's like a Tommy Stevens package for the Saskatchewan Roughriders offense. And we've seen the way they ran it in Ottawa. We've seen them do that before with Tommy Stevens. It hasn't been a ton, but I remember last year they did it. I think it was once or twice very early on in the season, probably first half of the season. Again, you love watching the guy play, right? He's everything that you want a football player to be. He's tough. He plays hard. The guys love him, right? And he just, you can tell how much he loves football. And so whenever he's out there, he's a joy to watch. But right now, his role isn't about the Tommy package. His role is continuing to be almost guaranteed when it comes to third and second and short. And I think that that's somewhere where I'd love to see Tommy, not the Tommy package necessarily, but if it's second and one, you got to remember, and this might happen in a big game, second and one is an opportunity to try something new. Because you're going to go, with Tommy Stevens, you're going to go for it on third and one too. So, do we get a look where we can isolate a wide receiver on a safety one-on-one, right? Do we let him throw the ball? Like, there's the nice part about Tommy Stevens is there's multiple things that make sense to do, but it's going to always keep because the other sideline is going to know what he's capable of, and the more you have to prepare for in practice, the harder it is to just sort of dedicate to getting in and looking at the details, right? So I love him, man. He's obviously one of Saskatchewan Roughriders' favorite players right now in terms of Rider Nation, and the more we see of him, the better.
Former player-wise, and I'm sure you were in a few, maybe you can give us an example of one that you were in, but not everybody, most people were calling it an ugly win. They started slow, it's kind of sloppy, you get the win in Ottawa and get back home. Do you feel that, as a player, that ugly win term, and a win is a win, obviously, and do you remember any times that you guys maybe won an ugly one, Luke?
No, I think that's I wouldn't. As a player, you don't coin them ugly wins, right? You come out of the dressing room and you're like, man, we got to do this better. You got to do this better. But the win's a win. You're right, Barney, right? And I think that when it comes to like ugly wins, you just gotta figure out where you could have been better, in any certain situation on the field. But a win's a win. And you're never going to apologize for it. There's no asterisks above a win, right? Like, it's a win. And that's the point of the game. And the Riders came out 1-0 last week to a team that is trying to find their footing. And again, those are the teams. You don't want them to find their footing against you, right, Barney? Otherwise, you're the laughing stock of the league. It's that old adage, right? I shoot you, I'm brainless. You shoot me, you're famous, right? Like, yeah, you got to.
That's almost a Scott Schultz-ish kind of line.
Oh, no! Nobody's got the lines like Schulte, man. It's all part of it. That's what he would say. It's all part of it. Yeah.
So good. Matthew Sexton, are you jumping up and down in the booth when he's running that one back? You excited?
No, you know what? It's weird. This is going to be weird to say, but it didn't surprise me at all. I think that I really liked him in camp. I thought that he was going to be a guy that was going to contribute at some point. So when he broke that off, right, and Luka Kanji had apparently stolen the kicker's uniform and gone out there on the field and tried to tackle, when he got that touchdown, I was like, yeah, this is him. Like, that's a guy that we kind of saw and knew what was there, and it's really nice. I mean, it's the same thing for Weeb the week before, right? Is you see Daniel Weeb go out and catch a touchdown, and you're kind of like, yeah, I'm not surprised. He's been doing that all camp. So it's nice to see a guy like Sexton get his opportunity. That's the best thing about it, right? Is like, you always ask me the former player feeling, right? That's what a former player can really relate to, is getting put in the game for the first time and making a play, right? So that was really cool to see. But yeah, with Sexton, it was just like, because I don't know. I expected it. It didn't surprise me at all. I think that's just him. I think he's going to do it again.
I remember you were at the Red Zone in Saskatoon. I remember you being high on him. We conversed about it. You talked about him, and I think when he was running it back, I think I said to the boys, and I said, "That's Luke's guy, there." Defensively, who did you like in Ottawa? Is it Jackson Ford? He had a game, right? Who did you like?
Jackson Ford is just one of those guys that when he's out there, he's around the football, and you love him because he plays with such great effort, right? He's like the Tommy Stevens of the defense. He plays with such great effort. You can tell he loves to be out there, and he makes plays, right? You know what I really love about him is his physicality. Like, there's one guy who's not shying away from contact, right? And let's be honest, it's tough to find secondary guys who really love and embrace contact. But I just love the way he plays. I think that it's been nice. I think Nelson Lacombo still is a great safety for this team. The nice thing about Lacombo is that he can play in other spots. I mean, even down as a linebacker, but so can Jackson Ford. I think that you got to always remember this team won a Grey Cup last year in 2025, and I've always said you win because you got the best Canadians. And I think that, the combination of Nelson Lacombo and Jackson Ford back there gives them multiple. They're a multi-capacity defense, I should say, because with both guys, those guys can play different spots. But it's awesome to see him playing well. And you know what you can tell? You can tell this year his IQ is sticking out on film now. He's a lot faster to react to certain things, and it's not easy to distract his eyes. Some of those young guys, right, like especially the safeties, all you got to do is kind of run someone down across them, and some of those young guys just it's like flies on crap, right? They just glue to it, and then they get hit over the top. With Jackson Ford, I mean, he understands where he is in the defensive scheme these days, and you can tell he's really comfortable in everything that he's doing. And the light bulbs came on, as it should in this year of his career. So it's been great to see him play, and I think that he's gonna continue to provide massive value for the Riders, and probably in a couple spots this year.
Give us one of your keys to the game, or what were we calling them? A kind of a sneaky tease key for this one.
Oh yeah, it's like key 4, but we don't talk about it a lot.
Bus driver 2 key maybe is what we talked about.
Yeah. The second bus driver when the bridge is closed key. Let's see. I think that with Hamilton, obviously, such a big part of their game is going to be trying to get the ball to their playmakers, right? the Canadian kid, Keontae. Keandre Smith. That's it. I'm sorry, Keandre Smith, because you're a baller. I should know your name. That's my bad. But you got Keandre Smith and you've got Kenny Lawler. When you've got a live arm quarterback, Jake Dolegala can wing it. I don't care how windy it is on Sunday. That guy can make every single throw. It was one of the most impressive things I thought about him when he was in the Ryder Green. Is like, man, this guy's got a rope. By the way, Barney, if me and you got him on the golf course, that guy's a long drive candidate. Like winner, like he can hit a golf ball too.
Those tall guys, man, that they get so much speed.
I'll tell you what, man. So he's a live arm guy, and they know that offense is going to need a spark. They're going to be looking for Keandre. They're going to be looking for Kenny. So I think that key number 4 that we're not going to mention that bus driver 2 is going to take from us is just understand where they want to get with the ball and understand where those guys are on the field at all times. And Kenny Lawler, you just don't want the big play. Let Hamilton, right, and that's with every defense, right? Give them the underneath stuff, right? Keep them at the 4 or 5 yard gains. Just don't let them bust out the big plays.
Nickel and dime us, and see if you can get in. Yeah, Dolegala 6'7", so he could probably hit the golf ball a long way.
Yeah.
Like I'm only 5'10", right? So for me,
wow. Whoa, hold on, Barney. Whoa.
I knew I saw that in there.
Yeah, give you 5. I thought we settled on 5'8". I'll give you 5'8". But when he was in Ryderville, I mean, remember I was saying it's like watching the Toys R Us giraffe out there. Like, this is a long necked dude with long limbs, long arms, and man, but he can throw the football, man, and it's actually really cool to see how actually live his arm is. But just hope he doesn't do well against us. That's all.
Yeah, they got like Lawler, Smith, Wheatfall, Gittins Jr. They can. They got guys that can catch the ball.
They got Lawler and Keandre. That's who they got. Though that's your key number 4. Just keep those guys off the score sheet. Make them beat you with somebody else. Bus driver number 2, straight up.
Go.
Make them beat you with somebody else other than Kenny Lawler and Keandre. Make them beat you. We're fine if you win. You're just not going to do it with these 2 guys. If you win, congratulations, but you're not doing it with those 2.
Curtis doing some good work there if you're watching the stream. Kay, the last time that we did this, so 2 weeks ago before I went on holidays, I took the under and you said the over. I was right. And I know betting the under's wild in this day and age in the CFL. But look, at this line is tough. Let's just play over under again, you and I. This one is tough, Luke. It's 54.5.
Under.
Ooh, okay.
Under. Let's go with the trend, man. We saw some low-scoring games here last week, right? Like, the Edmonton Ottawa game wasn't that flashy until let's go under. Let's hope the Riders score high and the Ticats score low. I'm telling you, I think there's going to be a couple interceptions out there. You just got to be able to capitalize on them.
Okay, there he is, Luke Mullender, our football analyst. You get back outside, find some shade. I
gotta watch the rest of this. I gotta watch the rest of this World Cup game, man. You're taking up my my time. Yeah.
Awesome, buddy. Have a good call this weekend. See you later.
All right, man. Peace.
Luke Mullender joining us. You can hear the crew Sunday afternoon. Curtis, what time do we start? 2 p.m.
Oh, because kickoff is at 5. Yeah, 2 so 2 p.m. would be when we start.
Buzzing at 2 p.m. here.
Also, on the over-under talk, Ottawa versus Edmonton.
Oh, yeah.
The over-under was set at 57.5, eh?
Yeah.
That's under with a little breathing room, eh? Ooh.
Exactly, my man. Okay, so much more to come on the program. We are going to have Lotto Lawrence. Speaking of sprinkle of the day and gambling, Lotto Lawrence came up. And then Zach McPhee, hockey player turned country music star. He's playing Country Thunder this weekend, former U of R Cougar. That's still to come. It's a Sportscage streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
Play of the game? Touchdown! More like the game to play. The new Saskatchewan Roughriders Scratch and Win ticket. It's your chance to win 10 years of Rider season tickets, a premium suite for the home opener and the Labor Day Classic, and tons of Rider swag. Plus, 2 chances to win $75,000. Tickets available at your favorite lottery retailers. Proudly brought to you by Sask Lotteries, supporting sport, culture, and recreation across the province. Please play responsibly.
Hey, Regina. Ready? The monsters are coming. Monsters in Mayhem crashes into Kings Park Speedway this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Finally, Regina. An outdoor, no-holds-barred crushing showdown featuring high-flying, car-crushing monster trucks, wild mini monsters, and gravity-defying freestyle motocross. Now listen up. Tickets on sale now at outlawsofmotorsports.ca and at the gate while supplies last.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
You just played 4 quarters of football. You got hit by guys built like farm equipment. And now you're thinking about a little celery stick and a protein shake? Come on, this is a job for Western Pizza. Load up with pepperoni, ham, bacon, melty cheese, maybe some ribs, lasagna, or souvlaki on the side. You put in the work, now eat like you mean it.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Sports Ticker, here we go. Battle of 2-2 teams tonight in the CFL. Toronto is visiting Winnipeg. Drew Brown starting. The Argos are a 2-point favorite. I like the Argos there. That one goes tonight. Well, obviously, we're getting ready for the Riders in Hamilton Sunday afternoon here in Regina. Western Canadian Baseball League tonight. Regina Medicine Hats. Saskatoon's at Swift. Okotoks is at Weyburn. And the Toronto Blue Jays, they are starting a series in San Diego tonight against the Padres. And we did have a text message to come in. They're listening to the show, and they don't want us to say the score of Spain, Belgium from the World Cup. So this time, I'm going to leave it off because I know you're recording it and you can't turn the radio off. So didn't want to catch you by surprise. So I'll leave that one. Spain, Belgium, you can look it up online. Sports Ticker for Steelcraft Doors in Regina. Made in Western Canada for Western Canada. They also have outlets in Prince Albert and Saskatoon covering all of Saskatchewan. All right, Lotto Lawrence is joining us. Sprinkle of the day for Sports Select, sportselect.com. Make your picks online, generate a QR code, take it to your Lotto Spot retailer, scan away. There you go. Every bet is 100% legal. Chance of winning cash in hand when you're ready to play. Play at sportselect.com. Lotto Lawrence back again, a fan favorite here. Lawrence, where do you... I'll throw this out there, and I know you listen to the show. I can't believe how much soccer I've been betting on. I'm right into this soccer and the over-unders and winners and all that, taking most of the favorites, and I don't know what is going on, but I can't believe I'm into soccer. Have you got into the soccer at all?
I threw a few early on some ties and hit a few, but not that much into the soccer. Team Canada, I watched some of those games, but I bet some ties early on, had some success there. But lately, no. I do, for whatever reason, think Spain. I don't know. They haven't allowed a goal yet. I mean, if you don't allow a goal, that's pretty good to me. So
good point. Okay, where do you want to take us, Lawrence? What have you been looking at the last few weeks here?
Well, we'll start with tonight's baseball, and we go to props, and you know, because of the Sports Select, you got to win by the 2 runs for the home and visitor. It is tough because there's a lot of ties, and especially when a home team is up, 3-2, and they don't bat in the ninth. So I find that tough to win by 2 in the Sports Select pro line. Yeah. But I love the props. Props is total bases. We talked about this before. Tonight you got Philly against Detroit, and not great pitching, Flaherty and Nola, but Schwarber on the road, so he's going to get and he's a leadoff guy with the Phillies. He's going to get 9 at-bats. Schwarber plays .225 against Kerry Carpenter. 32 home runs for Schwarber, only 13 for Carpenter. Total bases? I mean, this makes sense. Schwarber, I love him. .225 there. I jump on that.
Wow. Okay. Anything Blue Jays-wise while we're talking baseball?
Well, what I like... Blue Jays wise is there's a great props bet for the Blue Jays, or not props bet, sorry, a great bet for futures.
Yeah.
Now, no to the playoffs, 140. Yes to the playoffs, 245 currently. Really like that. I know that they've struggled. This team is too good. they make the playoffs here. I know it's going to be a wild card because of the Tampa Bay Rays are running away, but it's a wild card. Okay. And the Jays are still a good team. Don't forget about the Blue Jays here.
Is that you with your heart or your head or a little bit of both?
All of the above.
Okay, all of the above.
Yeah, love them.
What about CFL? Look, I played last night. I'm going to admit it. It was an in-game bet somewhere, but I played Ottawa. I didn't think they were going to get blown out the way they did. But what do you think in CFL? Do you want to look at Riders Hamilton with the backup quarterback coming in here?
Sure. With Dalagala, the Ticats, Riders pay $1.37. Not enough to bet on, but I do like the 8.5 for Riders here. I think that this is a blowout win for the Riders here. This is it's going to be one of those like 55 to 14 kind of games. Like this is going to be a pile of points the Riders put up on the Ticats here.
Okay. What about I'm hovering back and forth. Sharky liked the over. Yesterday, I don't know the over/under at 54.5
for the Riders.
Yeah,
got to go over there. Even though Dalagala, Riders' offense is just so good. Like they can sling that ball as long as Trevor Harris stays healthy. Those receivers, Emelis and Johnson, Baker, like these guys are studs. Like these guys they could put records up this year for offense for those three receivers. Like. I think they could all get 1,200 to 1,500 yards receiving.
Anything else on the CFL?
The Toronto tonight against the Bombers. Yeah. Now, I know we got Drew Brown, Caleris injury. Bombers are at home here, so that gives them an advantage. They're a veteran group. I like a close game here. I think the odds are saying 2 for a point spread. Go a tie there. Pump a tie on that one. I believe it's going to be quite low scoring, so I think a tie is a good bet on that one.
That's where you say low scoring. I think so as well. And they still have Sports Select right now has the over under at 60.5. I'm hammering that under all day.
Yeah, I can't see that going over. That's stupid. The backup quarterback. I think Bombers will try to run the ball and play that tight defensive style. One more thing, Barney. Okay. I like. I was looking at, and I know it's a long ways away. We're NFL, right? NFL. The conference winner of the in the NFC. One of these two teams is going to be number 1 seed, right? So we got the Rams and the Seahawks. Rams are 375. Seahawks are 650 right now. Those two teams are stacked. They're going to be 1 or 2 in the whole NFC. Probably go to the Super Bowl with one of those two teams. So I like that. If you want to take a futures bet on those two teams,
that is why we bring you on. That is really. I'm going to that right now. I might run to the co-op on that future bet at sportselect.com. Always a pleasure, Lawrence. Appreciate it.
Love the cage. Thanks, Barney.
Lotto Lawrence with us again. And our sprinkle of the day for Sports Select, sportselect.com. Make your picks online. Generate a QR code. It is a Sports Cage coming up. Little hockey player turned country music star. Hear more about Zach McPhee playing the main stage of Country Thunder. It is a Sports Cage. We're on your home of sports and so much more. Streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. Combined with a LiftMaster opener, it's the right choice. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. And a LiftMaster opener. 100% made by Canadians for Canadians. Steady, tariff-free pricing and great quality, no matter what.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Hey, it's your stomach. We need to talk. What are you doing to me here? Another sad little salad? I like eating healthy as much as the next stomach, but sometimes I want to live. Load me up with a Western pizza, pepperoni, ham, bacon, melty cheese. Now we're talking. And maybe some ribs, lasagna, or souvlaki on the side. Treat me like a respected stomach. Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
Out here in southern Saskatchewan, the sun shows up for work every day. Might as well make it earn its keep. That's where Keln Solar comes in. These folks travel all over the province helping people put solar on their homes, farms, and cabins. They're local guys, Sask-born, Sask-raised, and not going anywhere. Except, to your place. Now's the time to start planning for spring and summer 2026 bookings. Give Keln Solar a call and they'll come show you your best options. Keln Solar. They move the power so you don't have to. KelnSolar.com.
Text CKRM 306-936-6262. Powered by Prairie Land Rentals. From power tools to skid steers, they probably have what you need for your job. 600 Albert Street, where you deal with the owner. Welcome back to Sportscage. Check out our podcast powered by Freeze Tolman. Available anytime, anywhere at 620ckrm.com and sportscage.com.
Welcome back to the Sports Cage here. It is Country Thunder weekend. We've been talking about it this week. So if you're not out at Country Thunder, scorching, going to the Rider game on Sunday afternoon. Just a lot going on in the area, and keep an eye on the sky with the hot temperatures coming. This is a real interesting one. I've been teeing this up. Former WHL player, then University of Regina Cougar men's hockey player for 4 years, Zach McPhee. Now, Zach McPhee is playing the main stage at Country Thunder tomorrow afternoon. Very interesting story. This is from the Monday Nooner podcast. We did a full hour with Zach. Here are some of the snippets from him that I put together. Again, you can go listen anywhere you listen to podcasts for free. The Monday Nooner podcast. That's what you're searching for. Here it is. Little Zach McPhee, hockey player turned country star. We'll get into the hockey stuff, I think, second. Let's get into the country music, the meat and potatoes. You're playing the big stage at Country Thunder, Saskatchewan. Have you been to Country Thunder, Saskatchewan ever, maybe as a fan back in the day? I know you're from BC.
Yeah, no, it was always with like being in Regina, going to university there and like playing hockey. I always like missed the time frame. I only spent like part of one summer in Saskatchewan. I was doing some extra courses for school, but my roommates and a lot of obviously the guys I played with, they all said it was like the best time. So I was a little bit jealous, but I'm even maybe it was for the better because now I'm going back as an artist, so I'll get to experience it like that way now.
Are we going to see, again, we're going to get into hockey in a bit here. Are we going to see a large contingent of maybe U of R alumni in the crowd for your set?
I hope so. I know I've like talked to quite a few guys I used to play with that when the announcement came out and the lineup and I was able to post it, there was quite a few guys that were like, no way, this is so cool. So it sounds like it'll be a pretty good contingency there from the people that I know. So whether that's good or bad, it's to be determined.
Journey. The way I read it is you're kind of doing some speech therapy as a kid, and music is part of that. How do you explain that? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So growing up, like I just like developed a bad speech impediment. I had a stutter, and I just my parents put me in speech therapy. It got to the point in my life where it was like frustrating, but also like causing anxiety for me just growing up, you know, with school, you do the class presentations and like all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was just something we just decided to go through with. And part of the therapy that I was doing with my speech therapist, he was getting me to like sing my phrases together, because I guess that technique was, if you sing, like anytime anybody sings, you don't stutter because of the phrasing, because of how the words kind of flow together. So I attended speech therapy for probably about 5 or 6 years, from the ages of like 7 to 12 or like 8 to 13. And so like naturally I just started to like sing my phrases together, like even at home and stuff. Like I would drive people nuts, but I'd be at school. But that was like, for me, that was the way that I felt most comfortable getting through any public speaking, anytime I had to get up in front of, you know, my like peers. Especially with like hockey too, I wanted to be able to like communicate properly, other sports. And so it kind of naturally flowed from there. there's like that lane, and then the like other lane was I grew up in a very musical family. My like dad growing up played the guitar. Both sets of my grandparents played piano or guitar. My mom sang in choir growing up. My older brother of 7 years, he kind of naturally stepped into wanting to learn the guitar too. And as the youngest sibling, seeing your older brother do something, like he was a big inspiration for me with like hockey and baseball. And then after I saw him pick up the guitar, I was like, ooh, that's cool. Like he's doing it, right? So I started on piano. My piano teacher actually kicked me out of the class because she was very old school.
We a few months back we had the Hunter brothers on. Obviously they got the hockey and the music too, and they said like their mom would be like, okay, you got to like do your piano before you can go out and play hockey or whatever, and they were kind of juggling both at the same time. Were you the same way where music was involved while you were playing hockey, or is music kind of post hockey that it's really ramped up?
Music for me in like that aspect, my like parents were always very like supportive of both my brother and I in anything we wanted to do. The like agreement was if we're going to do it, we're going to do it 100%. You know, going back to even sports, like hockey is a expensive sports. It's very time consuming. And baseball too. Like they were like, hey, if we're going to do this, like, you know, you need to practice, blah, blah, blah. So, music was always kind of in the early stages of my life until I was probably about 17 or 18 when I started playing junior. Music was just kind of like a hobby, and I think they wanted to let me get to that place on my own. And at that point too, I was so like tunnel visioned on just taking hockey as far as I could. But it was always there in the background. And it's like interesting now, like being an adult and like looking back, being like, man, that was my escape for like a lot of stuff, because hockey is a very like fast paced, you know, sport. Baseball, we were traveling lots. We played on like Team BC. And so we were like here, there, and everywhere. And I feel like my grounding point was always coming back to the guitar, and that was like just on my own.
Key thing, because you're Vernon, you do the Vernon Vipers thing, you go to the Dub, like you talked about. How do you end up at the University of Regina after your Dub career?
Well, there was a couple factors that went into it. First and foremost, I did a fly down. There was a few schools that were like asking me to come and usually go and fly and just do a tour of the school and
bring the guitar just in case.
Yeah, exactly. But when I flew down to U of R, first and foremost, the city, the people were like huge for me. You know, I was committing myself to 5 years of school and hockey, and for me, community and kind of the people you're surrounded by will be the best experience, right? Like, so I had played with two guys that were there from Everett, Cody Fowley, and Lucas Gore was there as well, who I had known from Vernon. He's a few years older. But it just felt right. It just felt like this is the place I want to be. Again, just the community and the people. Todd Johnson, who was the coach at that time too, he had ties with Kootenay as well, because he was an assistant coach there before he got the job at U of R. So there was just a bunch of things that kind of like tied it all in together. I also grew up in like a smaller town. Vernon, growing up, was only like 60,000 people. I like know that's not small for Saskatchewan, but to like, for me, it felt very like at home.
We always ask our guests about their favorite like road barn, like when you're playing in the Dub. What's one rink that you think back on? Can't be your home rink, but a road arena that stands out.
There is a few. Spokane, man. Spokane was always just, especially playing like in the U.S. division, like Tri-Cities and the Spokane. Like that was my, like Tri-Cities, that was my first experience, right? I was like green, 16 years old, in that rivalry. Like I'd never known what a real, I think, like rivalry was till I got to junior hockey. Like in Vernon, we're like, oh, Vernon and Kelowna, but it was like we were 13. But then you go in and see like how passionate those junior hockey fans can be. Oh man. And we got my like first game. Spokane was very, very good too. Like I think they ended up winning it my first year. They had like Jared Cowan and Tyler Johnson and a bunch of those guys. And I was like, I didn't play a ton. I was like on the bench, but I was just like, holy man, these guys are good. Like those guys are big, they're fast. Like Spokane, they have that flipping goal song, and it's like you get scored on, and it's like the East Side Mario's theme song. It's like do 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 do, and the whole place is going nuts. Like 10,000 people are going nuts, and they're like chanting, and then they have a big gong at the end that they ring every time you score a goal. I think we got beat like 8-2 my first game there, and by the end of it, my ears were just ringing because that gong was going off so much.
Hockey player turned country music star Zach McPhee. He plays the main stage at Country Thunder tomorrow, Saturday at 4 p.m. Full interview is available at the Monday Nooner podcast. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, of course, it's always free. It is the Sports Cage. We are on the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
Listen weekdays at noon for Saskatchewan Today on CKRM with your host, Ryan Young, offering the most extensive agricultural news coverage with precision weather meteorologists in an industry that moves fast. Stay updated with the latest, most reliable information in ag news, crisis and trends, all in one place. Available anytime at SaskAgToday.com. Saskatchewan Today, your trusted source for all things agriculture. Sponsored by Affinity Credit Union on 620 CKRM.
Winter in Saskatchewan tests everything: our patience, vehicles, and sometimes our bumpers. From icy parking lot dings to serious highway mishaps, choosing local matters. At Regina Motor Products Collision